We are live at the 5th. Jordan Spieth's 4th shot here at the par 5 from short of the green.
Get in the hole. Get in the hole.
And another beautifully played little chip shot. Certainly no kick in, though. That putt's going to have a little left-hand break to it, but he has been very good from that distance. We go to 7.
Patrick Reed just off the fairway, Noda.
He's got a nice angle, intermediate cut, 92 yards left. Ooh, very nice line. See if he judges the distance.
I think he did just fine.
Yeah, although it didn't spin back, so he's going to have a sharply breaking left to right downhill putt from there.
Over at the 6th, the 3rd for Sean O'Hair, drove it in the trees, pitched to here, so now he's got 124 left, trying to save his par, remain 3 back.
Yeah, location tight on the left-hand side, and it's going to spin back, and there's a little false edge there. Well, it'll hang on, but long putt left for par.
To 9.
Vijay Singh has driven the ball in the left-hand rough here at the par 4. He's got 148 to the hole. Ball sitting way down. And that one is beautifully judged by Vijay. Very few players have even gotten it on the green from over there thus far. Chance for a 3. Back to 8.
Henrik Stenson now. Same putt we just saw Vijay hit up this green. This should turn a little to the left. Oh, now that hung to the right. Oh, it started to come back at the end. Back to 5.
Ryan Moore with a putt that could be a little bit of a statement maker.
Yeah, this green tilts from front right to back left, so this will work to his right, certainly as it loses speed.
Wow, good read, Roger. He didn't see that. Not sure why. Over to 6.
Long par attempt for O'Hair to remain in that tie for 3rd with Stenson.
Yeah, this first part of the putt uphill, then back downhill. It'll have some speed. So here a tee shot is going to cost O'Hair.
And going to cost him his first dropped shot of the day. 17.
Troy Merritt on the tee. Having a really good round. 4 under on his day. Looks like he's taking dead aim at that back right hole location. Yeah, how about that? So Troy Merritt's going to have a good look to get to 6 under. Don't know if that's going to be good enough to win, but he's going to post early. Back to 5.
Big putt here for Jordan Spieth, and it is a delicate one, Roger.
Yeah, actually putting uphill slightly. This green kind of runs away from the players from the front toward the rear. But it's a tough putt to read. You thought it had a little left. I think it might go a little right.
Oh, wow. Well, he was looking at the ball when he hit it. And he missed it on the left. So what a time to make a bogey for the leader, Jordan Spieth. He drops back to single digits, 9 under par. Now just a 1-shot lead. Boy, those 6s look ugly on those scorecards. Back over at 9 now, Vijay Singh for a birdie. Oh, that has to go, doesn't it? No time to be leaving those short for Vijay. He's hanging tough, though, just 4 shots behind. We go back to 7.
And Patrick Reed. And trying to pick up win number 5, Noda. And again, just at the age of 24. You know, you got Spieth trying to pick up win number 2 at the age of 21. And this guy has been on quite a roll here in his young career.
You can't get too aggressive with this, Gary. I always remember this having a little bit more run out than usual.
Yeah, and a lot of break to the right. Noda, very easy to underread it here.
Swinging it out to the left. And it's got some speed past the hole.
Yeah, good call by Noda. That area of the green, a lot of slope from front to back.
Reed's going to have another save. Over at the 6th.
Yeah, ideally you'd love to play a left to right tee shot here, Dan. It's an awkward driving hole in that the hole moves left to right, but the fairway cants severely from right to left. So that's why a fade is so effective, because it'll land a little softer into the slope and keep the ball in the fairway.
Second toughest hole historically here. Played the third toughest last year, so it's done some damage in the past.
He starts it down the left side, cutting it. See if it'll hold the fairway.
Yeah, it gets a pretty straight bounce, and it will be just fine.
Good view from above, left center of the fairway for Ryan Moore. Just one back at Spieth, thanks to Spieth's first bogey of the day.
Good picture, buddy.
In watching Jordan on the range, Dan, I would say he's more effective when he tries to hit a draw. So not as comfortable to me playing a fade. Let's see how he does.
Yeah, watch just a few get away to the right off his club today, and this one headed right.
This is going right, way right.
Yeah, he has a tendency. He comes down on an inside path, and what happens to me when he hits sometimes when he tries to hit a fade, he hits what I would call a push fade, because the ball will start right of where he intends it to. See, the club's coming from in to out, and with the face open, it's going to start right and then fade. And you know, guys who hit fades successfully get the ball started far enough left at the beginning.
17.
Yeah, Troy Merritt now for his birdie to get to 6 under. Everybody's been under-reading this, but not Troy. Troy's best finish on tour is a second place a couple years ago to Ben Crane in Memphis. Can he post a good score?
Now Kenny Perry, he is bunkered at 18, his second 2 over par, trying to ensure a 4 here at 18, and might not have been able to advance it as much as he would have liked. This position in the fairway is going to leave that bunker between Perry and the hole. Brendan DeYoung, he's at 14, level par, looking for birdie, a chance to get back to red figures. He has really had a tough weekend after grabbing the halfway lead, and that rides right along the left side. Nick Watney, 3 over, playing alongside Kenny Perry from the right rough. Watney bringing this in from 163, leaves it at the bottom portion of the green, and an uphill putt from there. Now Kevin Streelman, past champion, for birdie at 14. You mentioned Brendan DeYoung battling. Both of these players have been over par for the weekend. After DeYoung came into Saturday's play 6 under, Streelman was 5 under at that point. Perry now, this is his third, 2 over par, and about 60 yards here. Just over the hazard, lands it softly. Nice controlled shot. So Perry, you have to think of it as a par 5 of sorts, and you're trying to make birdie there. If it were a par 5, that's how you have to condition your thinking in the fairway when you're scrambling like that. Final round of this Valspar Championship. We have seen the lead move to 10 under par. Both Ryan Moore and Jordan Spieth able to get it there. Now Moore 1 over in the round, and he sits at 8 under par, trailing Jordan Spieth by a shot. Henrik Stenson, meanwhile, 2 under today. He has moved through 8 holes, now working the 9th, and Stenson is within 2 of the lead. Patrick Reed, Troy Merritt, all those players at 6 under par, including a past winner here in Sean O'Hare. Merritt about to finish up. Those others, they have plenty of time on the course to see if they can cut into the lead. 65 today for Harris English, a 6 under round.
This just seconds ago at the 6th from 174, Ryan Moore.
Yeah, the lie sets up beautifully. A ball above his feet to turn the ball from right to left to this left hole location, and with a 7-iron, Ryan Moore.
Do you believe this?
Man!
The holeouts continue on the Florida swing as Ryan Moore drops it in for an eagle to quickly get it back to double digits under par. Spieth didn't even see it. I'm sure he heard the roar, but he's over in the trees, Roger, well out of view of where you should be on this hole.
Absolutely well out of view of most everything. Now really not faced with the play at the green. I think he's going to pitch out to the fairway and advance the ball some 50-60 yards out into the fairway.
Thanks, guys.
The ball's laying in sand and not sitting all that well, sitting down slightly. So this not even a slam dunk pitch out.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have to be careful here. You don't want to hit it too far, because if you do, you can easily run through the fairway into the trees on the other side.
He's done a good job with it, though. This will be fine.
All right, so Spieth having his problems over there while Moore dunks it. So Ryan Moore, who had bogeys at 2 and 3 after his birdie start, and then a couple of pars, bang.
That was a perfect setup, Dan. As I mentioned, the ball above his feet, which promotes a right to left shot, hole location on the left. And what a nice bounce out of the fringe.
He read the break nicely at the end, didn't he? Ryan Moore takes the lead back by 1 over Spieth. So back and forth they go. And Ryan Moore's back up to double digits under par, which he got to quickly with that birdie at the first. Over to the 9th with Mark Rolfing.
Henrik Stenson has driven the ball well left here, does have an opening through the trees, and you can see the flag there right between the 2 front greenside bunkers. Vijay Singh just scooted it up through those 2 bunkers. Oh, didn't carry it far enough. A lot will depend on the lie now. We go back to Spieth.
And Spieth checking out the wind with his caddy Michael Greller. Roger.
99 hole, yep. Playing a little over 100. Yeah, I think that's safe.
And 96 yards left here.
All right, throw a dart in there.
Open to lose only a couple of shots here on the hole after the eagle landed by Moore.
Now needs to throw this up in the air and get some spin on it.
Wants it down, wants it down.
Oh, man. That is not good. I mean, that ball flew 15 yards too far in the air.
And he's in danger of losing more than a couple of shots thanks to the latest electric highlight that we've seen on this Florida swing. It was last weekend on that Saturday when we saw those aces within a half-hour apart from Dustin Johnson and J.B. Holmes, and Dustin Johnson eventually won. So maybe it's Ryan Moore's hole-out week to go on for a victory.
Well, the one thing about Ryan Moore, too, he will not get overly excited about this. He stays very even keel on the golf course. Little tip of the cap, little slight wave, no big fist pumps, no jumping up and down, high-fiving with his caddy. He's all business.
So he's got 2 bogeys, an eagle, and a birdie, and we're only 6 holes into this final round. It's his first hole out this season, his 32nd round of this 2014-15 season, as Ryan Moore tries to become the first multiple winner of the 2014-15 season. Let's talk a little bit about Ryan Moore. Maybe he doesn't get the recognition that some of these so-called other stars get. Maybe it's because his swing is a little unorthodox. Yeah. Maybe it's because he does kind of march to the beat of his own drummer in many ways that we'll get into throughout the day.
Yeah, I would not disagree with any of those things, Dan, to be perfectly honest with you. And I've always said that when a player reaches a level of success on the PGA Tour and has a swing that is termed maybe unorthodox, there's a reason why they've had success. They own that swing. They know how to use that swing and know what makes it work. And I think Ryan Moore is definitely that type of player. It's a swing that no teacher would teach a player, but yet he has used it very effectively to win 4 times on the PGA Tour.
And here's a guy that also is in a very big day, Jordan Spieth. Chance to get that 2nd PGA Tour win. I know he's only 21. We talked about it late in the day yesterday, but he's had some chances in the past to increase this total.
He's got to run out. Now, the other thing that Jordan has to do, I think, Dan, we've seen it. You mentioned some of those other chances he had to win. He gets a little frustrated with himself. He's only 21. He's going to have to make sure he stays calm.
Over to 9.
Henrik Stenson from the front bunker. Good lie. Wow, that's a little unusual. Had correct distance, but missed it about 8 feet wide right. Chance to save par, though. Or to number 8.
This is Patrick Reed trying to save his par. We've seen this putt go left. We've seen it go right. And how about right there? Dead straight in the middle. So Patrick Reed saves his par and stays at 6 under. Let's go to 18.
And the third shot for Troy Merritt, trying to post a good number here, currently at 6 under, trying to stay that way. Coming off his birdie at 17 to get to 6 under. Oh man,
nice
that looked good.
Nice touch. Those are the tough shots out of this long rough around the greens. The shorter ones, Dan, because you want to keep the club accelerating, but sometimes you're afraid you're going to hit the shot too hard.
So there's the number right now in the clubhouse, 6 under, with that 66 by Merritt. But over at the 6, where it is going to be at least a 3-shot swing between Spieth and Ryan Moore, Roger.
Well, I will say this to Jordan Spieth's credit. When he came out of the trees after having chipped out with a big smile on his face, he looked at Ryan Moore and said, "Great stuff." Oh, I thought that was a great sign of sportsmanship. Certainly he was not in good shape and now really grinding, trying to get out of here with a bogey.
You don't see many 4-shot swings in the final group in the final round, but if this doesn't go in, that's exactly what it'll be. Well, 3-shot swing. Bogey for Spieth, eagle for Moore.
But I think that has to be a real positive for Jordan Spieth to make that putt when he knew he needed to.
I would agree with that. Ryan Moore, who began the day with a 1-shot lead, fell out of the lead by 2 to his playing competitor. Eagle lands at the 6th, and he's back up by 2.
Chesson Hadley just in front of the green here at the 16th. And just trying to figure out the best way to get this close. He's 1 over. And he will try and chip this over that little ridge. It just won't move back to the left. But still inside of 6 feet. And he'll see if he can handle things from there. Brendan de Jong, another swinging putt right to left, this one. As he's trying to get back to red figures. And that runs out about 6 feet past. It was a brisk stroke and wanted to make sure he got it there, but that one just had a bit more runoff than maybe de Jong anticipated. Francesco Molinari, a difficult par save here at 16. Into the grain, then a little downhill. And he was hoping to remain at 2 under. That is going to add up to a bogey. So Molinari, disappointingly, will walk away with a 5 there. Now, Kevin Streelman to get to 1 under. And just below the hole. So a disappointing miss. And the 2012 winner here is just going to tap in. 2013 for Streelman. Hadley with a nice par save at 16.
The new leader by 2, 399-yard par 4.
And players will hit less than driver here, Dan, just trying to put the ball up on the very top of the hill. That is the widest part of the hole. Go down too far, it necks down and narrows in with some big oak trees on the left.
To the 9th.
Henrik Stenson from just over 7 feet for a par, a much needed par. No. So he leaves himself 3 feet still for a bogey.
So now Spieth, we'll see how he reacts, Gary, with back-to-back bogeys. But again, that was a good save for the latest on the last.
Turn. Come on.
Well, it's up the right side. If you're going to miss, that's where you need to miss, is to the right. Ball will tend to try to kick a little left, and the tree's not nearly as thick on the right-hand side, so good chance you'll end up with a shot to the green.
And on the tee at 8.
This is Sean O'Hare, even on his round today. He says he's starting to feel it again. And this looks good. And it is good. Hole location way in the back of this green here at the par 3. Well, we're proud to have the MetLife Blimp Snoopy 1, providing a unique perspective from 1,500 feet in the air. MetLife Premium Client Group invites you to see their unique perspective. And how about that unique perspective right there from high above? Snoopy 1. Let's go to 9.
And a good perspective, Peter, from behind this 9th green. Most of the players that are missing the fairway are headed left off the tee. Matt Kuchar is over there, but not nearly as bad a shape as Stenson just was in the primary rough, Nota.
No, and he's got a nice angle. He's got a 9-iron in his hand, and Mark, I gotta think he's got a favor just left of this hole, because this ball will release a little bit.
Cutting.
Swinging it in from left to right. It's moving.
Way deep, though, boy. Series of uncharacteristic mistakes for Matt Kuchar today. Totally misjudged the distance there. Pulled it a little, which typically will mean the ball goes further than you want. Patrick Reed, though, with a good tee shot, Nota.
Yeah, he put it right in this neck of this fairway. It's only 18 yards wide here, but now he can take advantage. This whole location very accessible. Going to be able to get some spin on it too.
Yeah, this is really a green lighter here now from this position.
Oh, just overcooked it a tiny bit.
Not bad, though. 12 feet or so. Little fade putt.
Well, it was a smashing success in its first year last year, and the boys and girls are back from ages 7 to 15 to descend upon Augusta National in the Drive, Chip and Putt Championship. Pregame coverage at 8 o'clock a.m. Sunday, April 5th, and the competition begins at 9 a.m. only on Golf Channel. And out to the 7th for Ryan Moore, second.
151 from the center of the fairway. Hole cut front right. Think this just a solid 9-iron.
Baby. Come on.
Turning away from the hole a little bit on the left.
Yeah, catch a little ridge there and funnel a little farther away, but leaves a nice uphill putt from there.
Jordan Spieth now, and again a little mini version of that right miss. Gary just put him off the fairway again.
Yeah, and Roger, at least from this side, you have a chance to play. I'm sure he probably still has tree issues.
Oh, he does. He's got a pine tree ahead of him about 15 yards. It's really in play. I think he's going to try to play at the very, very left side of the green is all he's got. And he's trying to squeeze one up there. And it'll come up short. That's 3 holes in a row. He's been faced with that kind of stuff.
Yep. Jordan Spieth scrambling. Ryan Moore has it going again with his latest hole out here on this Florida swing. We've seen a lot of them.
Francesco Molinari, as he takes a look at this opportunity at the back of 17 green, 1 under par. 17th. They cut the pin to the front the last couple of days. This one all the way to the back, 36 feet. And Molinari watches that one just drift a little right. So 2 birdies to start the day, but since then he's played the course in 2 over. So even on the round and 1 under overall. Just suffered bogey at 16. Let's move back to the 16th with Brendan DeYoung. Top of the hill, chance for birdie. De Jong has been holding at level par here for a bit of time, trying to just get that feel back on the greens. This one will play just down a little fall line and 30 feet. We'll call it for De Jong. A couple of birdies today, but also 4 bogeys. Quick putt. We've seen a couple of those from De Jong. He's had a difficult time picking up the speed in this final round. Chesson Hadley, 17 to get to level par. Hadley from 18 feet. Tight stance. Hadley just 2 birdies on the day. That one would have been his third.
Jordan Spieth scrambling again here at the 7th, his third at the par 4.
Not an easy little pitch here, Dan, off a very tight lie. He elects to try to go low and just doesn't carry it far enough, and you could hear him say he was just scared of it. Let's take a look at this second shot here from just a moment ago that Jordan played. He's trying to play underneath this limb, and watch how this ball, Danny, actually goes right through it.
What you call threading the needles.
I would think so. So I would say Jordan very lucky to have the ball end up where it did.
He's got a difficult par attempt coming up.
And over at 8 now, Sean O'Hare. This for birdie to get one closer to Ryan Moore. Now is left the whole way. So missed opportunity for Sean here at 8. Let's go back to 7.
Well, Ryan Moore could be gaining more ground and then some on Spieth here.
You know, pretty level putt from a speed standpoint. I think it's going to go to his right some. It's from just about dead hole high.
Yeah, a lot of the hole high putts on these greens, Raj, to me break more than they appear. There's a lot of most of the greens sloping from back to front pretty severely. See if you can read enough break in this. Yeah, he got it out there plenty wide.
Still could be gaining ground on Spieth here with just a par. And our FedEx Cup summary deals with Ryan Moore. Results this season: successfully defending his CIMB Classic, that official PGA Tour FedEx Cup event in Malaysia. Projected with a win, would go right to the top. So ranking entering the week just outside of this top 10 that you see there. Everybody on that list has won, and Ryan Moore could zoom to the top and overtake Jimmy Walker with a victory here at the Valspar Championship over the 9th.
Patrick Reed for his birdie. Matt Kuchar has missed from the back of the green. Oh, good looking putt. Maybe hit it just a little harder than he wanted. Back to 7.
And Spieth just on the fringe, Raj, for par.
Yeah, got an uphiller here. You know, to me, Gary, he's a young man, and I think at times he gets a little perturbed and a little frustrated.
Yeah, I think he gets down on himself fairly quickly. You know, I had a tendency to do that in my career. I know where he's coming from, and you know, it's not a good habit, that's for sure.
And we saw some examples of that at Augusta and,
and at the Players last year too.
He wants to win so badly. Everybody does out here, but sometimes it comes off as it might be hurting him. Wow! But how about that save? Ryan Moore's like, wow, this guy won't go away.
Kevin Streelman taking a look at the wind. And you can see he's pointing out to the caddy that he feels like it's coming in off his left side as they stand at the tee, just quartering. We've heard a couple of players refer to that as just that light breeze in off the northwest right now. Streelman won this championship in 2013. It was his first tour victory, impressively, over Boo Weekley, a 4-shot victory. Make that a 2-shot win for Streelman back in 2013. Now set to go. The wind down compared to what it has been the last couple of days. Level par, full carry, just over that hazard, but you see the little ridge rejecting those shots that come up a couple of yards short. And there's Kevin Streelman, 2013, a 10 under total to beat Boo Weekley by 2. Streelman, a couple of impressive wins when he's been able to just get things going confidence-wise. $17 now for Brendan DeYoung. He was hoping to add his name to the list of champions here. Good first 2 days. He needs to draw positives from that. Really try and wash away some of the negative things that happened over the weekend. He's gone from 6 under to level. And it happens, especially on a tough course like this. Just have to keep fighting. DeYoung has done that. A chance, a good chance to get to 1 under.
Ryan Moore on the tee here at the long par 3 8th.
Yeah, hybrid club here. 243, hole back left. Launching a high draw, sweeping right to left. Boy, it's on a good line.
Oh, it's on a great line. 3 pars for Ryan here, the first 3 rounds on the tough 8th. And these are one of these 5 par 3s here at the Copperhead course, Gary, that all you really want to do is just make par and get out. These are some of the toughest holes on the golf course. They're all long. They're all difficult.
Yeah, 3s are good scores on any one of the 5, that's for sure.
Now Jordan.
Yeah, he goes from 12.
Another 3 hybrid here, Peter.
If anything, yeah, he's just mostly up the right. That's some good tempo.
You can see the target down there, just trying to fit it between the bunkers on the left and the right. Anything on the putting surface is acceptable.
Check this out. Down. Right.
Oh, that ball looked like a gopher looking for a hole. Let's go up to 9.
Where Sean O'Hare has problems here, driven it just past a tree on the corner of the dogleg, can only play sideways. Thought he might take a chance and try and hit sort of a chop down little punch hook, but decides to play it safe and leave himself a long 3rd shot.
This is a 10. Henrik Stenson for par to remain 4 back of Moore.
All right. It's a good score at a tough par 4 10th.
Stenson 1 under on his round today. Take a quick short break here for the Valspar Championship. Send you back to the studio for the U.S. Bank Sports Report.
To 18, Francesco. In the fairway at the finishing hole. 1 under is Molinari. From the right side. 167, and this will find the left rough near where the fans are gathered in the shade there. It's a nice spot to be to watch these approach shots into 18. They can just relax and tuck themselves away from the sun. 17, and Kevin Streelman surveying. Pin cut to the back, so just kind of walking this off to get a feel for that little ridge that he has to negotiate. Try and bring it up just a little bit of a rise. And this tiered green, he's putting from the valley. So 26 feet. It appears that he's into the grain for just a brief amount of time, and that pushed it left. So a good read, but Streelman just slightly offline and tapping in for par here. Chesson Hadley at 18. Hadley 1 over par. 149. 9 iron for Hadley. And Chesson over the top of the flag. Leaves a putt coming back right at 24 feet. Brendan DeYoung, best look he's had in a while for birdie to see if he can move to red figures. 6.5 feet. And DeYoung gets that. Palm Harbor, Florida for the final round of the Valspar Championship. This Copperhead course has been tough the entire week. The Innisbrook Resort, always a destination where fans come and enjoy the golf and the players know they'll be tested.
Yeah, Jordan's been leaning on his short game here. Can he get this close enough to give himself a makeable putt? Oh, that's well done there.
You could hear how thick that grass was, Peter. You could just hear the club trying to get through it.
Well, you can see how long the rough is. It's unpredictable. You're trying to just take a big swipe at it and hope you get the club under the ball, because there's really no control. The only control you can have is with the trajectory. It's got to land soft. So now Ryan Moore with a great look here for birdie.
But it looks to me like it may want to go just to his right on the way up here. Checked that a little left, but he just didn't hit it.
I didn't want to say anything, but we've seen putts from there go to the right and the left, Roger. So players very confused, but didn't matter because he never got it there.
So Ryan Moore currently working on a 1 under round in this final round. You take a look at his scoring average by round on the tour this season. Pretty good the first 3 rounds. This has been the trouble spot for Moore, tied for 169th on the PGA Tour with that final round average, Gary, inching close to 72. He shot 76 last week in the final round at Doral when he was in contention.
Well, so sometimes we're all guilty of trying a little too hard in that final round.
So Spieth walks away with a very nice par 3, good up and down, up to 9.
This was just earlier. Remember, Sean O'Hair had pitched his second shot out. PGA Tour average from this distance is about 17.5 feet. Sean O'Hair puts it to 9 feet 5 inches. So a very important putt for a par for Sean O'Hair, who has putted well. Seeing some dramatic improvement with this short stick. That's a good one there. Over to 11.
As Henrik Stenson giving it a go. Boy, it sounds so solid coming off of that club face. So that's a pretty good shot right there. They don't mow that front right part short of that green. But you can see with that hole location, he's got a nice pitch and run all the way back to that hole location.
Well, you mentioned solid contact. Look at how far he hits his fairway metals as you break down the par 4s and par 5s. This is off the tee.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think, we talk about how far the guys hit the ball with the driver. To me, the fairway woods, the 3 woods, when you can hit it 280 yards, I mean, that's 50 yards farther than we used to hit 3 woods in my day. And that's a huge weapon. Of course, they're at 13 degrees. A lot of times the drivers we played with were about 10 or 11 degrees.
Over 9, Ryan Moore on the tee. You can see teeing up on the right-hand side of the tee box.
Feels like a little breeze against the players here.
Gentle fade would be a good ball flight here.
It should be in the left side of the fairway, left center.
Mark, he was saying his game plan was to be able to control his ball, especially off the tee. That's now 12 consecutive fairways he's hit.
Following the broadcast, you can log on to PGATour.com for the Winners Live post-round press conference. Catch all the comments, insights from the champion exclusively on PGATour.com. Back to 9.
Jordan Spieth would like to mirror that tee shot from Moore.
Starts it up the right, turning it a little right to left. It's just left of the fairway bunker.
Skirts the bunker. Lie looks to be mediocre, but that will change the dynamic of the second shot.
And here is Patrick Reed. All pars and a lone birdie at the first. Looking for his second one here at 10.
Slow one up the hill, moving left.
He just can't get anything really going like he needs to. 4 back for Reed. He's got 8 holes left. Ryan Moore, Jordan Spieth in the final group, separated by just a couple at the Valspar Championship on a beautiful Sunday in Palm Harbor.
At the 18th, Chesson Hadley looking at this 24-footer to see if he can finish with a birdie here at 18 to get to level par. Just 1 birdie on the card, and that is all he'll be able to manage in the final round. A par putt would help him to the clubhouse with a 2-over round today and a 1-over total. So looking at carding a 73 today. The one-time winner on tour. That was last year at the Puerto Rico Open. Seen a number of players capture their first win down in Rio Grande. So Hadley to finish up. So Hadley's in with a 2-over round, a 1-over total as he finishes up here at 18. Now to Sean Stefani at 16, 3 under, big putt. Over that little ridge, 65 feet. Sean Stefani, very good effort. Good judge of distance, and that's just going to leave a short putt for par. Molinari for par now. Oh, that slides by on the left side. So he is at risk of giving away a couple. That will be a bogey putt from just over 3 feet. Jason Bone at 16. Bone looking at 17 feet. A couple of players settling for par here at the 16th.
At the 9th.
From the fairway, got a good angle looking right up at this whole location. That's not a very good shot. That will spin back down the fairway and will leave him with a pitch that's maybe not the easiest he'll have seen this week. A little perplexed. Now Jordan Spieth out of the right-hand rough.
Yeah, 127 ball. The lie's not all that bad. Kind of dry up here on the high point.
He hit it hard, Roger. Trying to get some spin
way up
on
in
it.
the air too on a great line.
Just a little deep. Had to miss it long, not short. Caught a little flyer, as he says.
And over to 11. This was just a moment ago. Henrik Stenson out of this rough, short and right of the green. Trying to play a little bit of a flop and run. Not too bad. So he's got that to get to 7 under. Now this for birdie to get to that 7 under figure. So still stays at 6. A bunch of guys tied at 6 in third.
One of those guys, Jake, tied at 6 under. Sean O'Hare from 154.
He's got the tough shot out of the way. This 10th fairway hard to hit. Second shot just a little uphill, and that's a good leave below the hole.
Sean O'Hare, the 2008 Valspar champion, totally lost his game for a couple of years. He is back and in contention.
17T, Jason Bone, 3 under par. Bone with 3 birdies today, a couple of bogeys. 1 under par in this round after coming into the final day 2 under to start. Safely on. Lengthy putt though, about 30 feet. Bone with a 1 over 72 on Saturday. That was after a positive 2 under 69 to get to the halfway point. Now from off the green, De Jong at 18. Three feet left for par. De Jong has battled. You have to give him credit. The star has seen his chances pass him by before. He knows that it's just a goal that he has to keep right out in front of him to try and win his first event. Sean Stephanie could say the same. 3 under par right now. And this on a decent line, but short of carrying it to that back portion. So Stephanie, uphill putt right at 35 feet. This is a big putt for Kevin Streelman through that little valley. A high enough line. Well, the putt flattens out a little bit, but that will travel about 5 feet left of the cup. And Streelman's going to need to try and convert that to keep a hold of par. So Streelman quickly cleans things up, and he is right at 5 feet.
The leader, 3rd shot at number 9. Chose to bring it in very low. Will it release? It does. That is a beauty for the leader. So Ryan Moore with a kick in par. Now Reed 11.
Yeah, go giving it a go. Oh, gets a great kick. He's got some room to work with on that.
Rode that wind.
Reed at 6 under, 4 back. Back to 9.
Jordan Spieth, birdie attempt from well behind the hole.
I wouldn't call this lightning fast, but you got to pay attention to the speed here.
He paid attention to it, Roger, and got it absolutely beautifully. So that'll come to rest just inside the mark there of Ryan Moore. He's going to go ahead and brush it in. Par for Spieth. Pretty good result after driving the ball in the right-hand rough. Over at 15, Luke Guthrie is going along nice and quietly. Slowly working his way up the leaderboard, and that will help at 15, a birdie 2. So Guthrie gets to -6 all of a sudden in a tie for 3rd place. A lot of cash, a lot of FedEx Cup points on the line, and he knows it.
Shano here at the 10th, looking to make another little move up the board here.
Not a lot of break here. Got it off the hole.
So he's going to stay at 6 under, 4 back of Ryan Moore. O'Hare really can't get anything going. Even par on the day as Ryan Moore remains in control at this Valspar Championship. At the 13th, this was just a moment ago, Vijay Singh.
Whole location today in a dangerous place. Back right portion of the green. Pot bunker, water, all in play. And Vijay hits a beauty.
So Vijay hanging in there at the age of 52 as we go back to 11.
Kind of a bump and run here for Patrick Reed, Noda.
Yeah, but he has a good lie, so he should be able to control it just a little bit.
Set. Set.
Wow, that's pretty darn good. He'll have that for birdie to get to 7 under. To 13.
And Vijay Singh, who has had all sorts of putting styles, and
yeah, and he needs to make a couple of these if he's going to contend here down the stretch. And look at Vijay pour it in.
Couple of birdies in the last 3 holes for Vijay Singh at the age of 52. He's heard that number a lot this week, right? Still thinks he can win out here, and he is just 4 back. He's running out of golf holes, and with Ryan Moore at 10 under, unlikely, but you never know.
At 17, Jason Bone. Trying to get this to the back corner. Birdie here to see if he could boost his total to 4 under par. 30 feet and just a little short on speed. So a 1.5 feet from the cup. And Bone will take the 3 under total to the 18th with one more chance to pick up birdie. Brian Davis 4 under as he works the 16th. Davis had a nice Saturday stroll around the Copperhead course. He's looking at about 48 feet for this chance at birdie. It's going to be a good lag putt. Davis in his Saturday round carded a 1 under 70, but on the front side there were 4 birdies on the card, and he ultimately gave 3 shots back after that. Did add a birdie at 17 on Saturday as well. Here's Stephanie at 17. And a quick putt past the cup, 3.5 feet. 16 now, Jason Kokrak. Just over this little ridge. And he'll remain at 4 under. Good lag putt. Just finishing that will keep him at 4 under and on to 17. Easy enough. You want those par putts to be stress-free if you can. At 17, Sean Stephanie now for par. His birdie putt carrying 3 feet past. Just a little forward press and runs it on in.
Early in the second 9 here, Ryan Moore is second at the 10th.
151 here. A little bit of wind helping. We'll cut deep in the green on the left-hand side.
I like it, Raj. He's adept at working the ball in both directions, and he keeps trying to hit the shot that is called for. He's doing it well.
Let's go to 11.
See if Patrick Reed can get to 7 under. Should turn from right to left. Yeah, dead center. So Patrick Reed is moving up. Now just 3 back to 12.
Short par 4. This is Stenson for par.
Yeah, this is the shortest and easiest par 4 on the golf course. You can't afford to drop one there.
Didn't. Stays at 6 under. Back to 10 for Spieth.
147.
Asking this one to get down. It does. Checks up. And so both Spieth and Moore with opportunities at the 10th. If you just joined us, it was a lot of action early on. Remember, Ryan Moore began the day with a 1-shot lead over Jordan Spieth. Let's pick up the play at the first, the par 5, and Ryan Moore's second.
And this was a beauty, Dan, from 249 yards with a fairway metal out of a divot and got it on the green, which would lead to a 2-putt birdie.
So he quickly moved it to 10 under. Same hole. Spieth working from the rough with his third.
And not an easy shot here. Has to carry the ball a long way, get it to land softly on the green. Beautifully judged.
So they traded a couple of birdies. Moore's lead remained 1, and then some movement on the board. Spieth's second at the second.
Yeah, perfectly positioned right center of the fairway. Able to play to this left hole location. Almost holes it.
And that would lead to the birdie by Spieth. So he's off to a birdie start. Quickly moves it to 10 under, and Ryan Moore bogeyed that hole, so Spieth had the lead by 1. Next hole, Moore for par at the 3rd. So now he's got back-to-back bogeys, and he's reeling with Spieth up by 2 at 10 under. But
Spieth trying to play this second shot out of the fairway bunker at the par 5, and slipped a little bit, missed it left, and that would lead to a bogey there.
Moore parred it, so now Spieth's lead just 1, and then Spieth with his tee shot at the 6 going right.
Trying to play a left to right cut off the tee, played a push cut and hit it 30 yards into the trees on the right. That would lead to another bogey.
And on that same hole from 174 with a 7-iron.
Talk about a perfect shot. Moving it right to left to the left hole location. Got a favorable little hop and
to 10 under. So the two aces that we saw last week at Doral on Saturday, both 7-irons, and another 7-iron hole out for Eagle for more, and that is the difference right now, as he's got that 2-shot lead, as he's just on the fringe at the 10th. Roger.
And this one from just past hole high. So the first part of the putt slightly uphill, then it's going to move to his right.
he's bringing in his caddy, J.J. Jakovac, to kind of give him a little idea here. Raj, this is not usual, right? I mean, JJ's not in there a whole lot of times to help him read putts.
That's true. So looking for a little either agreement with what he saw, or really not having a good idea, one or the other.
Effort.
Oof. Yeah, that was aggressive. Beautiful stroke. Watch how long he keeps the putter blade down. That's very nice. Ball rolled very truly coming out of that fringe.
To the 11th.
This is Sean O'Hare from 278 down this hill, giving this par 5 a go. Wow, kind of a unique follow through there, but look at this. Wow. So Sean O'Hare reaches the par 5 and 2.
I didn't even say it. I thought
We'll
we got
have
in
that for Eagle to get to 8 under to 13.
And Henrik Stenson off that nice par save at 12 with an 8-iron.
Well, they've done the players a favor, Dan, today by with the pin way on the right-hand side of the green. They moved the tees up. It's just 184 yards, and we've seen this hole play over 200 yards in the past to this exact same hole location.
Gonna keep waiting for Stenson to light it up. Hasn't happened yet. Back at the 10th, and Spieth with an opportunity here to cut into the Ryan Moore 2-shot lead.
Yeah, this one downhill, and it looks to me like it wants to start initially, maybe moving just left, but a good tracking putt. You can get this started in the line you want, Gary. You got a good shot at making this one.
Got it started a little too far left right off the bat.
Moore still has a significant par putt coming back. Get to that in a second. In the meantime, Patrick Reed at the 12th. Just 129.
And he's got the pedal down, drove it well up into this fairway, only about 10 or 12 yards short of the water. A wonderful look at it. Sawed off finish.
Crisp
Nice
sounding
line, just
iron
left.
from Reed. It just sounded good. And Reed, who was in contention deep into the tournament at the Honda Classic before he found the water at 15, is looking to get into it really significantly here. Pretty chance for him at 12 to 14.
Vijay Singh, who was at -6, his 3rd shot at the par 5. And pretty good one there. Leave himself an uphill birdie attempt. We go back to 10.
And here's the par coming back for Moore.
Should move just to his left, just inside 4 feet.
Oh. Those are the ones that you think about.
Yeah, he played 2 good shots into the green. You're thinking about having a nice chance at making birdie and
Yeah, kind of those
walk off with a bogey.
unforced errors.
Yeah, and those are tough to come back from. You know, when you're in a dogfight on the back 9.
So that brings everybody closer, including Spieth and Reed, who's got a birdie putt. Reed could be tied for second here momentarily. At 13, Stenson long birdie look.
Always been a difficult putt to read. It wants to move to the left toward the back of the green. Well, he had it read pretty well.
He'll stay at 6 under. And just a little cleanup here for Spieth. He looks at the hole on that one. If he's got a relatively short putt and there's not a lot of break, he will often do that. But again, it's never a guarantee.
Never a guarantee. Talked to him about it this morning on the range. He said a lot of it is how I feel.
Over at 11.
This is Sean O'Hare's putt for eagle. Should move to his right. And this to get to 8. Oh my. That looked awfully good. So a tap in birdie here for Sean to get to 7 under.
Out here at the par 5 11th, we take a look at our driving holes technology presented by TaylorMade, and it's telling us that a little draw by a right-handed golfer works best.
Yeah, it certainly does. That last little bunker you see down the left-hand side, about 295 yards off the tee. So if you can start something, Peter, down the tree line down the right and turn it over, that's the ideal shot.
And it is a tight fairway, Gary, only 20 yards wide, so they've got to be very precise with this.
So quick.
He started it up the right, not coming back.
Yeah, you could hear him say so quick. He is not getting the club set at the top the way he normally does. He's a little bit faster and a little bit ahead of it.
Over at 14, Vijay Singh from off the apron for a birdie. That will miss on the low side, so opportunity squandered there. He knows it. He is running out of holes with just 4 left.
And Ryan Moore getting ready, trying to fit it down that little chute.
Oh, this starts down the left and not cutting.
Well, that is going to be a definite layup from there. Probably have to end up being pretty far back, Peter, because there's a pretty big lip on that bunker.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. He's going to have a long third shot after that layup. Now it's 16. Luke Guthrie. Wow. How about that? Luke Guthrie without a bogey all day long. That's tough luck right there.
Patrick Reed for birdie at 12 to get into the tie for second.
Pretty straight putt. Uphill, be aggressive. And he was.
The 24-year-old has pulled within 1 with back-to-back birdies at 11 and 12. 3 under on the day for Reed. It all came unraveled at the Honda Classic in the throes of the bear trap. What about Reed today at the Valspar?
Patrick Reed with a big putt there. Let's check on Lucas Glover. He's at 4 under, his second at 16. He has 196 coming in. Glover, a former U.S. Open champion in the late 2000s. That through the green, close to the grandstand, and a tough play coming back onto the green. Luke Guthrie now 5 under as he comes to 17. Guthrie with a good-looking card, but he is coming off bogey at 16. He had moved it to 6 under within 3 of the lead. He'll have that to try and get that shot back. Now, Sam Saunders from the Web.com tour this past week. 2 under his approach here at 16. 167. The approach for Saunders. If it'll stay on the top portion, that's a good-looking approach and a chance at birdie. 20 feet for Saunders. Chad Campbell now. Just a very quick, abbreviated backswing, and then he fires 2 under par. Full turn. Campbell trying to get it to that back portion, rejected slightly by that ridge. 22 feet he'll have for a look at birdie. 1-shot lead for Ryan Moore, but Patrick Reed stalking. A player on the back 9 here at the Copperhead course. If they get that momentum building, they can chase down the leader. There's enough pressure with the golf course alone, but now Patrick Reed is applying some to Ryan Moore.
Hole location at the par 3 13th. Not the most comfortable look for Patrick Reed, Gary.
No, it isn't. He likes to hit a draw, and you have to avoid these 2 pot bunkers. You certainly want to avoid the water. The ideal target is right in this area right here. You'd love to see a tee shot come in and move a little bit left to right into that hole location. It's a shot that Patrick Reed, I've heard him say on the range, I can hit. You just don't see him hit it very often when he's in contention like this, and you know, we certainly didn't see him do it when he needed to at the Honda.
And he didn't go to it here. It's his normal shot, well left at the center of the green.
And you can't go long. That's going to leave a very difficult up and down. Got to land it right on the downslope. And Danny, that's where a little left to right shot on that same line comes up a little shorter, lands softly.
Back to 11.
This is Ryan Moore laying this ball up. Not only does he have the lip to contend with, but take a look at the trees right in front of him.
You got to fight the temptation of trying to squeeze too much out of this, Peter. Got to make sure you have enough loft here to comfortably get it up and across the trees.
On the way. Good shot, Ryan.
Well, if you remember yesterday when Ryan laid it up, that ball went directly to the right, and we talked about whether it was an S word or not. It turned out he came up to Roger, and Roger, he told you there was mud on the ball. It was not a, I guess we can say it now, it wasn't a shank.
No, he said it was hit right in the center of the club face. It just squirted dead right because of the mud.
A layup now by Jordan. That's perfect, just short of the cross bunkers there. He'll have about a 40-yard pitch. You got to take advantage of these par 5s, Gary. These are the only birdie holes out here.
There aren't many, and we go to the other one on the back 9, the 14th.
And Henrik Stenson with this ever powerful 3-wood. Nobody has reached this green in 2 shots yet today.
Well, that's staying in the air a long time.
Oh,
Whoa,
that
man.
flew nearly hole high, and really in not too bad a spot. What a shot by Henrik Stenson. Can he chip it in for an eagle 3 and vault his way up the leaderboard? We'll find out when we come back.
Patrick Reed on to 13. Final group working the 11th. Saunders now at 16. Just inside of 20 feet to get to 3 under. The ball right. So Saunders that close, but he'll just tap that in for par, with Lucas Glover taking a look from this side of the green. Saunders learning a lot about his game right now. Brian Davis in the fairway at 18. Davis 3 under par. 161 the number for Davis coming into 18. And over the top of the flag. Looking at 20 feet coming back. Lucas Glover now, after he rifled one through the green to the back area up against the grandstand. This is for par. Move to the right, it does. And Glover reads it well to save par. Glover trying to rebuild his confidence in his game, showing signs. Here's Kokrak in the fairway, coming into 18. Big drive, just 132 for Kokrak. Drove it 301 yards right down the center of the fairway. Kokrak a little deeper onto the green. Probably disappointed with that, with a short number coming in. 16, Billy Hurley III. His second on the big par 4. Hurley from 211 yards right against that cut of Bermuda. So that step cut can be problematic at times. We'll see if Hurley can work from off the edge.
After his layup, this is Ryan Moore with his third.
Come on.
He said you got to take advantage of these par 5s out here, and he's got to look at it.
All right, we're going to use our NBC it here. We're going to watch Ryan Moore swing, and the takeaway keeps the club face very square for a long time and then gets the club going almost straight up as he reaches the top of his backswing. And as he reaches the top of the backswing, we're going to zoom in. And I want you to watch how much the club gets rerouted. Look how much it drops down from the inside. So, again, as I said, Dan, when you have an unusual swinger, as he calls it, a weird swing, you have to have good tempo, and that is the one thing that Ryan Moore definitely has.
Well, here is Reed from the thick rough at 13 with his second to this par 3.
He's been a magician around these greens. He really has.
And he just waved his wand again, Gary. That should be another save for Reed, and 22 consecutive holes without a bogey.
Now back at 11, Jordan with this short pitch.
Yeah, 65 yards, Peter.
And Raj, when I've played this hole in the past, I've always found it hard to get the ball back to the hole.
Because you don't want to knock it across, and there's not a lot of room behind it. But
That's beautifully
nice.
done. Yeah, that is really well done.
Let's go to 14.
All right, third shot for Henrik Stenson. Going to play a little flopper. A lot of players don't have the nerve to try this. Pretty good shot. A little easier. That might have gone in, but he'll leave himself nearly 5 feet for his birdie. Back to 12.
Sean O'Hare sitting in that group 7 under, looking to get to the group at 8 under.
move a little
Sean
right.
O'Hare rolls it around and in with his second birdie in a row. And we've got 3 tied for second, right behind Moore. Game on this Sunday at the Valspar to 14.
Stenson trying to creep a shot closer himself. Little hook putt, got it. 4 good shots there. He is now within 2 of Ryan Moore's lead.
Well, the Premier League is on NBCSN. The hottest club in the league, Liverpool, heads to Wales to take on Swansea City. Coverage begins tomorrow at 3 Eastern Time on NBCSN. To the 15th.
BJ Singh trying to hang in there. This for a par at the par 3 15th. Nope. All right, this is Patrick Reed on the tee at the par 5 14th.
Sets up perfect for a little draw, but he said yesterday he drove it all over the place, and that's going to miss left. That's going to take away any chance of going for the green in 2.
Might not be the easiest layup from there. This 14th hole, a very interesting par 5 double dog leg. 305 yards to the end of the fairway. There you see right there, Patrick Reed is sort of trying to hook it around the corner, put it in the left rough. Okay, now the hole bends back the other direction here. Water not really in play. Only Henrik Stenson has flown the ball onto the green. It is a difficult green. A lot of pitch from the back to the front. We go back to 11.
Here's Ryan Moore for birdie. Oh, man, how good is that birdie? Bad tee shot. Nice layup. Third shot from 139 yards. Thank you very much. That's called managing your game. You don't always hit great shots, Gary, but when you do hit a good shot, minimize the problem and put yourself in position to make a birdie.
And here is Sean O'Hare, Gary, back-to-back birdies, and here at the 13th with an 8-iron.
playing this week on a sponsor exemption, Dan. The last 2 years he's failed to maintain his status on the PGA Tour. He's been back to the Web.com Tour Finals Series. He's gotten status, but was not high enough in the rankings to be in this field. And a dangerous shot here. Keep the ball left and short. Now there's the proper ball flight right there. Ever so slightly left to right. There you go. Now that's the way the hole's designed to be played. Beautiful shot.
Well, O'Hare was 3 shots off the lead today, headed into the final round. 3 shots off the lead back in 2008. When he was then 25 years old, he would have this third at the par 5 11th. Good enough for a tap-in birdie, and then he had this 30-foot birdie at the 15th, which virtually sealed the deal as the rest of the field had trouble finishing around him. And despite a bogey at 18, O'Hare would go on to record his 2nd career PGA Tour victory. He's been on tour for 11 years, but as you mentioned, Gary, he just lost it all. Confidence, swing, mind in his words, and he's got a chance again to repeat here as we go back out to 11.
Jordan's been making these all day. Made them all day yesterday. Can he make another? No. Boy, that went quickly left, and he hit that pretty hard. He's got some work left to 15.
Henrik Stenson trails by 3, needs to start taking dead aim. 2 under for this final round. 218-yard shot today.
Downhill, downwind.
And that's taking dead aim. Good chance for a 2 there. Length of the flagstick. 8-footer for a birdie for Stenson.
Now back at 11, Spieth just this left for his par 5. So he stays at 8 under. Now 2 back of his playing competitor Ryan Moore, who made a spectacular birdie after driving it in trouble there at 11. So Ryan Moore trying to get this done. Maybe we'll see his young son Tucker run out on 18 green to congratulate him. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Lucas Glover, as he's trying to line this up, make sure he gets through the par 3 unscathed. And his reaction as that just ran along the left side, just curled out of the cup. So Glover trying to make sure he is out of the line of his playing competitor. Sam Saunders, he's going to have to settle for bogey there. Let's pick up the play coming in. Luke Guthrie at 18, 5 under. Guthrie from the right side, 167, and it doesn't make it. Into the hazard. And Guthrie with a par at 17 and now scrambling at 18. Sam Saunders. And there's your par for Saunders to remain at 2 under. So he holds on to par, whereas Glover gave a shot back as he'll make bogey at 17. Chad Campbell in the fairway at the 18th. Campbell 160 coming in. And that one peels away from the flag, so Campbell looking at 27 feet. Lucas Glover disappointed, as you can imagine, at the 17th as he has to scoop that out of the cup after a bogey made there. He had just 5 feet for his par. Now Nick Taylor just waiting to see as those players exit 17 green. And now he'll just go through that process of visualizing this shot, making sure the wind is all right. Caddy, back for a conversation. I just want to take a look at the wind here and be certain. Nick Taylor, caddy, assisting, 3 under par as he's trying to pick his number and shot here at 17. Taylor with 3 bogeys on the front side. He was 3 over through 8 before finally a birdie at the 9th. He's come back to level out the round. Birdies at 11 and 12, and he's even on the day and 3 under overall. Already a winner this year. Nick Taylor of Canada. To a back right pin. And he finds that bunker right. That could be a tough play for an up and down.
Chance for Ryan Moore to pick up another birdie here at the 12th. Short par 4.
Yeah, layup off the tee, Dan. Water comes into play at about 270. So the guys are just trying to get the ball down the fairway, and that's in good shape.
So Moore in position to attack 14.
Layup for Patrick Reed here at the par 5. Kind of gouges it out of the rough and down the fairway, and that'll be nice. See if he can keep it out of one of those divot marks. A lot of players playing their 3rd shots from that area, and we go over to 13.
And after that beautiful cut shot, still left with a lengthy birdie try for O'Hare.
Yeah, but this is a hole, Dan. You're really just trying to make a 3. Yeah, that one should ease its way to the left.
Or a 2.
Oh, what a good-looking putt.
Tell you what, I don't know how long he's going to be able to keep in this groove, but he is back this weekend, and for the moment, 15.
This was just earlier Daniel Summerhays, little left to right putt, and he barely squeezed it in the right side, but it's in, so he makes 2 there.
Well, this week don't miss a doubleheader on Wednesday night rivalry. First the Blackhawks take on the Rangers, and then the defending champion Kings, who are right on the bubble for the final playoff spot, take on the Ducks. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern time on NBCSN. Wednesday night rivalry, the night you love to hate. Out to the 15th.
Or if you want to know how good a shot Stenson hit, barely half the players have even hit the green, and the average proximity's been over 30 feet. He's got 8 feet. And a good chance for a 2.
Mark always felt like this green was just a tough one to read.
We'll look at it from above, Gary, here.
Pretty much straight down green, but you want to make it go right, and it won't. Oh, he played it straight in. He had the proper read.
2 terrific shots for Stenson. So now we have a 4-way tie for second. Breathing down the neck of our leader, Ryan Moore. And back at the par 5 14th now, Patrick Reed's 3rd shot. A little bit of a downhill lie. Over the years, players have had trouble getting the right distance from this downhill lie, even with a wedge.
Got to look good to him, though, Mark, with the left hole location, but you're right, comes up short.
Back to 12.
Ryan Moore getting ready for his 2nd shot. Let's take a look from above, Gary.
Yeah, well, the one thing you got to avoid is this front bunker right here. So you really do need to play a shot more into this area, just behind the hole if you can. Most of the time, players will come up short here if they mistake.
Spieth has already missed it short.
Yeah, a little breeze coming against the players. Held Spieth's ball up. This is from 150.
20 feet behind the hole is not a bad shot.
Turning a little left of it.
Yeah, there you go. That's what exactly you want to do. Hit it up there a little bit past the hole. Take all that trouble, the bunker and the long rough, out of play.
So Ryan Moore trying to hold off all those 8 unders, which include the 3rd-ranked player in the world and Patrick Reed and Jordan Spieth. But Ryan Moore with another really good strike at the 12th.
Chad Campbell trying to pick up a birdie here at the 18th. That would take him to 3 under par. Finishing hole 26 feet. And it just comes up short. So Campbell trying to finish with that birdie, but a par it will be. And into the clubhouse with a share of 25th on the leaderboard. Lost 2 important shots at the 16th. The first hole of the Snake Pit. Lighting Chad Campbell. Here's Nick Taylor, green side. Tee shot, found the bunker. Has to get this up quickly. Pretty nice shot. That one holds about 5 feet past the cup. So Taylor has a realistic look at saving par from there. A little bit further on the green. This is Luke Guthrie for par. And he'll get to the clubhouse at 5 under. So one of the better offerings this year from Guthrie, as he is tied for 7th on the leaderboard as things currently sit. He has come through this year without a top 10, so he could be in line for his first of the season. At 17, Billy Hurley III, up the hill to get to 4 under. That comes up short. Didn't get it there. 39 feet, his first putt. He'll be left with about 4 feet here. So both players grinding a little bit to pick up pars. Taylor is looking at more like 7 feet from the flag, according to ShotLink. And then Hurley has just at 4 feet for his par.
Jordan Spieth in that really thick rough at the 12th part of this 4-way tie for second at 8 under, 2 back.
He's played these well all week long.
Oh, wow. Is that good?
Another beauty.
So Spieth went on a tap in to stay at 8 under and will go to 14.
Patrick Reed stalking a birdie attempt here, Nota.
And Mark, you've talked about this early in the week. These kinds of putts just fit his eye. He puts a confident roll on these right to lefters, and this one will definitely have some right to left swing late.
Key here is to keep up the pace. This putt has been a little slower than the players have anticipated. And in the lower right hand corner of your screen, Ryan Moore for a birdie at 12. Patrick Reed up above for birdie at 14. Reed misses low. Moore makes.
Ryan Moore now has back-to-back birdies to push it to 11 under, and all of a sudden he's 3 clear.
Well, he's played this back 9 this week, Dan, in 6 under par. That is better than anyone else in the field.
So the final group heads up to the 13th. We go to 16.
This is Vijay Singh trying to save his par. Hit a good shot over the green, just about a foot in the rough, and had one of those unpredictable lies. Took a big swing, left it short, used the cross-handed pitch grip. So a drop shot for Vijay.
On the west coast of Florida, looking down on the Copperhead course here at Innisbrook. This was just a moment ago. The 3rd by Luke Guthrie at the 18th, coming into the last at 5 under. And Guthrie went on to make that par, so a nice 3 under round of 68 for Luke. Lead in the clubhouse is still Troy Merritt's 6 under. And again, there's that whole location at the 13th where Ryan Moore has arrived, and he has the honor with his latest birdie.
Second toughest green to hit on the golf course today. Players have hit it just some 43% of the time, and Raj, it just begs for a little left to right shot starting in the middle of the green.
It also begs for you to forget the flagstick.
Yes.
Put it in the middle of the green.
Especially with the lead.
Leads the field. Strokes gained, tee to green.
There's a little breeze helping here, Gary, but I'm being told this is an 8-iron.
Well, he's definitely not going to get it all the way back to the hole, and that's a smart shot.
This is at the very left edge of the green.
That's not good. That is right where the players exit and move toward the 14th tee. That'll be an into the green pitch.
Up ahead a couple to the 15th.
Patrick Reed on the tee.
He's got a 6-iron. Seems like a lot, Mark.
He's carried about 210 yards, Nota. And he took just a little off it, carried it about 200 yards. It still releases, as they all have, and another chance for a birdie there for Reed. Back to the 13th.
And suddenly, with Moore out there in the left rough, A little more hope for the rest of those guys. 3 back, including Spieth.
Anything right behind you. Good target. You're fine.
And this is an 8-iron as well. Still, I don't think you should get too greedy here, Gary.
I agree, Raj. This is.
Oh, this is very high. Just left of the hole.
That's aggressive.
Oh, that's a pretty shot.
Yeah, turns out well. So Jordan Spieth in line for a birdie at the 13th. Maybe he can get it to 9 under, and we could see another big swing here as we send you back to the studio for another U.S. Bank Sports Report.
Just a huge tee shot by Jordan Spieth there. We'll see if it pays off. Here's Russell Knox at 17. Knox drifting back to 2 under. Among the top 25 still. Would love a birdie here and perhaps one at 18 to get back to a 4 under total. He'll need to hold that from 22 feet. Saunders with a little relief near the grandstand here at 18. Over that hazard and from a difficult angle, able to see if he can scramble his way to par. Vijay Singh, 4 under now. Singh, unfortunate bogeys at 15 and 16. Leaning left, we'll see if this could find the bunker right. It hops into the rough. That's going to be a tough lie.
There's a lie for Ryan Moore at 13. Raj doesn't look great. Didn't expect it to.
Yeah, the green's against him a little bit, so not the lie you're looking for this shot. Going to try to play a big high flopper, I think, and make a pretty big swing at it. Not going to get there.
All in all, not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. According to ShotLink, that's the farthest any player has missed the green left today.
16.
After a perfect tee shot, Henrik Stenson just 191. He's 3 back. Got to get something going. And he does. Birdies at 14 and 15. He's got a good look here at 16.
So they keep charging on Ryan Moore. And speaking of charging, Arnold Palmer, no one did it better. Don't miss the premiere of Arnie and Me as folks share their own personal stories about the King. It's presented by Insperity. Tuesday, 10 o'clock. It follows that 3-part doc. If you haven't seen it, check that out. Arnie at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Golf Channel. And the grandson of Arnold Palmer, Sam Saunders, finishing out at 18. Part of that 5-man playoff last week in Puerto Rico. And hats off for Sam with a nice roll-around par that gets in. Even par round of 71. And he'll be in the field at his grandfather's tournament next week at Bay Hill.
Yeah, I talked to Sam on the range this morning, and he's very relaxed, very comfortable with how he's playing, and very excited about going to Bay Hill next week.
Over at 13, Spieth could get excited here if this birdie drops down at the par 3, and Spieth is suddenly to 9 under, and Moore might lose one, so we could see a 2-shot swing between those two, and the lead could be just 1 after it's all over with here at the par 3. So Spieth is fired up with that birdie at the 13. Just played the really good shot, Gary, and it paid off.
Yeah, he did.
Aggressive.
He was aggressive,
a bold shot.
but you know, at this stage of the game, you need to be.
And now Moore for par, Raj.
That was a great read by Spieth. It's a putt you see missed left a lot here as the ball tends to go to the back left corner of the green. See how much of that Ryan Moore picked up on.
Too far off the hole.
So indeed a 2-shot swing. Lead is just 1 as Moore came into this 13th off back-to-back birdies, a lead by 3, and now Spieth has closed within 1. 5 holes left, and then you've got the old snake pit looming.
That's right. That was very big there.
Well, up at 16, the roar you just heard when Ryan was putting was Henrik Stenson for his 3rd birdie in a row. That gets Henrik to 9 under, and now just 1 back.
You know, Jake and Gary have been talking about it. Sooner or later, it just felt like this guy was going to light it up, and he has.
Well, 3rd-ranked player in the world, the cream of the field, no question.
Here's another man trying to get within a shot of the lead, Patrick Reed, for birdie at 15.
And Mark, you just got to be impressed. He has been terrible off the tee this week, and he has put up one heck of a fight.
Will it break? Yes. How about that, too? What a time to make it for Patrick Reed. Look at that now. 3-way tie for 2nd place. Just a shot behind Moore. And here's another man right here. O'Hare, he trails by 2. 3rd shot from just below the green. And that is one of the best we've seen from down there today. That'll be a kick in. So he will get within a shot of the lead.
Hey, Mark, weren't all these guys 3 shots behind like 30 seconds ago?
It is amazing. That's the nature of this golf course. It can change so fast.
Well, those groups haven't even made it to the snake pit yet, and yet a lot of numbers changing at the top of our leaderboard. Now at the 16th. Daniel Summerhays. Missed opportunity here inside of 11 feet. That would have carried him to 5 under. Deflating when you feel like you've got the chance at birdie there, one of the better looks, and you just leave it on the edge. Now, Nick Taylor, 2 under at 18. His 2nd here at the home hole. Taylor trying to find this front pin. Top left of the green from 140 yards out. So Taylor, 35 feet coming back to the flag from there. Gallery grows at 18 with these final groups coming in. Matt Kuchar now. Birdie chance at 15, leaves it on the left side. So a tap in par for Kuchar. The 15th, the way that pin has been cut, 17 is deep. 15 is also been one of those pins difficult to find today, but still sitting more centered on the green. When you compare the pin at 13, where we just saw the final group go through, and then also at 17, where they'll see that a little bit later on. 17th has moved up to 6th in difficulty. The 15th right now 12th toughest. 13 top 3. The final round of this Valspar Championship, and a lot happening at the top of our leaderboard. We've not seen the lead change hands, but Ryan Moore had it to a 3-shot lead, but then he bogeys 13 while 3 others make birdie in their rounds to all climb to within a shot.
Patrick Reed is in the first leg of it.
Trying to hit a big hook away from the water.
It's got to be left, Peter. Got to catch the rough.
Yeah, he's got to be lucky with 2 things. Not only the lie, but he can't be stymied behind a few of those trees over there. Good look from behind the 17th. That whole location in the traditional right-hand corner, Gary.
Yeah, but they've moved the tees up, Peter. I can remember in years past on Sunday this hole playing, 210, 215, only 195 yards today.
While we wait, let's go back to 14.
Sean O'Hare for a birdie. So he gets to -9. There is a 4-way tie, just a shot behind Ryan Moore. Back to Stenson.
Yeah, Gary, you were talking about the tee length. Today, it's only 195 yards, which allows the players to take dead aim. We've already seen 12 birdies here and some pretty close shots. So I would imagine that Stenson right now, coming off of 3 birdies in a row, he's feeling it.
Corner. Yeah. And into the wind with 6. We're struggling. 180 with that. Straight across or a touch into. It's perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Gareth Gareth Lord giving him the information. You have to carry the corner. That bunker juts out and covers part of the green there, about 10 yards short of the hole. Beautiful.
You can just see when Stenson hits a good shot, there is no reaction. He just stares it down.
Second shot for Ryan Moore at the par 5 from the rough, Roger.
Yeah, and just short of a tree here that I think is just going to be out of reach of his swing, but it's reasonably close. 315 to the hole. Has to lay it up, has to go across some trees down the left-hand side, or I should say an oak tree, but it's far enough ahead it just shouldn't be an issue.
Beautiful look from up above at this little double dogleg.
Double dogleg mark, which was the signature design feature of Larry Packard. Every one of his golf courses has a double dogleg par 5.
Well, playing a low hook, and this will be fine.
Indeed it will. Good spot there. Over at the 15th tee now, only one player in this entire field has played the par 3s better than Sean O'Hare this week. He is -4 on these difficult par 3s. This is 6-iron.
Come on. Come around.
Looking forward to draw a little bit.
One's pushing it right, Shay.
That takes a huge bounce and up into the rough. Most likely takes away a chance to make a 2. All will depend on why. Looks like it's sitting down in a little pocket of that rough. Back at 14 now, Jordan Spieth drove the ball in the fairway. It's taken a pretty good rip at this one.
Oh.
Wow. Carries it over the corner of the lake and up into the fairway. So very aggressive layup. Over to 16.
Yeah, Patrick Reed now with his second shot wide open. Noda.
Yeah, caught a real good break. He's actually got a really nice lie.
If anything, might actually come. Yeah, 85% puts that at about 195.
Take a look at this stat this week. 65th in driving accuracy.
Only Peter, only 71 guys made the cut, so that is down there.
But his iron play has been fantastic.
Hey, Patrick, you're going to go.
Oh, he's pulled this. He's gone right up the opening of the green, well left of the hole.
Oh, it hit soft too, so he's going to have a long pitch and run to get back to that hole location. But his short game has been so solid all week long. But take a look. So many guys have a chance to win this coming down the stretch.
At 17, Daniel Summerhays now. Summerhays missed a really good look at birdie a moment ago at 16. See if he can respond. 17, we watched just how much you need to get to the back of this green. Stenson able to get it there. Summerhays on the opposite side. So a lengthy putt. Summerhays will go first there, 44 feet. Vijay Singh now, his approach at 18. Singh up the right side. This coming up short and into the rough. So he wasn't able to get out of that tough spot. He was to the right of the trees, 155 coming in, but he'll have to try and play from off the green. Matt Kuchar now at 16. Kuchar back to 1 under par. Disappointing finishing stretch. This from 165. Kuchar trying to climb to that upper tier. He has watched as Patrick Reed has gathered momentum, but Kuchar has lost 5 shots after a birdie at the opening hole. Russell Knox now taking a look at things here at the 18th. Drove it well. Actually took it down the left side. Found the bunker left and then played out. Now is left with just a little wedge into the green. So Knox will be playing his third here. 75 yards. Russell Knox spins it off the green. That was his third shot. He's going to need a putt from right along the collar to save his par here at the finishing hole.
Welcome back to the final round of the Valspar Championship, where things are really boiling up. This is the leader, Ryan Moore. Third shot at 14. Nursing a one-stroke lead over no less than 4 players right now. Trying to urge it on to get it back. So many players have come up short here with the third. Sean O'Hare, you'll remember, at 15 put his ball just through the green. Not the easiest of little pitch shots here.
Well, he was saying, Mark, that his long game in pretty good shape, and the short game, it goes from day to day. Not particularly good there by any means.
No, a little stubby. Now Jordan Spieth with his third, Roger.
Oh, he's got it in absolutely the best position here in the far right-hand side of the fairway.
5 paces. Yep.
The best way to get it close, Roger, that we have seen today is to go right in a little bit low at Ryan Moore's ball and kind of skip it forward. You don't want to spin it backwards here.
He's got 110 here. Got to go right at it here. This is a place to attack. That's going to spin back.
That's not the shot you want to play. Up ahead to 16.
Patrick Reed with this little bump and run note from about 70 feet.
Peter, he's got a lot of loft on that club. I mean, I think most players would be in the mid iron here trying to get it to run. He's going to have to judge this very well.
Yeah, it's into the grain. You can see the dark color of the grass at the start.
Wow, how about that? He said he's been using that 61 degree to perfection this week.
Kind of reminded us a little bit of what happened last year. Kind of the same angle, a little deeper. Obviously, John Senden did better than Patrick Reed just did, because he holed it out on his way to getting back into the PGA Tour winner's circle. So the 16th, that first leg of the snake pit, handled beautifully last year by Senden, out to 17.
Yeah, this is for 4 in a row and a share of the lead at 10 under. Oh, he knew it the minute he hit it. He started walking. So that left for Stenson to stay one back to 15.
Sean O'Hare with much more than he had in mind for his par. This a very important putt. He's getting ready to head into the snake pit. That's issue number 1. The other is he is currently trailing by a shot. Wouldn't want to drop one at this point. So hard to make birdies. Both Reed and Stenson have tapped in for their pars at 16. At 17, excuse me, this now. Just a little bit of fade. Just a little bit of fade, and he made it.
Clutch putt.
That really is. So Sean O'Hare will head over to the 16th tee, trailing by a shot temporarily. Let's take another look at this putt. He has been stroking it so much better, Gary, of late.
Mark, he told me on the range earlier this week, I'm just trying to play like I was a kid. I'm not thinking about too much. I'm just using my eyes and trusting it.
Next week on tour, we head up to Central Florida for the Arnold Palmer Invitational presented by MasterCard. Top 5 players in the world there, including Rory McIlroy, of course, playing for the first time. Champions Tour at Tucson National, where I used to watch Johnny Miller rip it up as a young kid.
I did too, and he beat me badly there a number of times.
That's the inaugural Tucson Conquistadores Classic in Tucson, Arizona, web.com in Chile, and then the Latino America event in Colombia. So that is where your golf respected tours are next week.
Jordan Spieth with the first attempt here, Roger, for a birdie from just over 30 feet.
Yeah, this is a slow one. It's up the hill and will drag left, certainly as it loses speed. I think he let a good opportunity get away from him here. I think he should have had a good look at birdie from that position he had in the fairway. But
no question about it.
if he holds this, it'll make up for it from 31 feet.
The putter is a great equalizer. What a four by Jordan Spieth. Let's take another look at this one. You can see he gives a little fist pump there. He knows how important this one is. Hits it nice and firm. Beautiful effort there. Yes.
That was a roundhouse pump.
That was indeed. So back-to-back birdies for Spieth.
Just a tremendous atmosphere out here right now. You can see the players very into it.
And the crowd's into it too, Mark.
They really
that's
are.
the great thing. You know, these players are entertainers. They love playing in front of big crowds, and they're having the chance to do it this week.
Makes it feel like a big tournament out there, which it has become. Now, Ryan Moore.
Can you say it's virtually the same putt? A little closer. 24 feet.
Hasn't made one from this distance all week. Not hard enough. Up to 17.
Patrick Reed now.
He's pulled this one at the middle of the green.
Well, that's just been his ball flight for the last month. He's just starting everything to the right and swinging it left, and that's a bad hole location for that type of ball flight. To 18.
So Henrik Stenson here gearing down at this 424-yard finishing hole, one back.
It's going up the right. You really need to be playing out of the fairway to this whole location that's tucked just behind the big bunker that guards the front of the green.
Tee at 16.
Sean O'Hare now on the tee.
They hit it in the water here the first round. Oh. I think that one's all right, though, isn't it, Peter?
Yeah, he picked his tee up quickly.
Nice.
That is perfect. So special thanks to MetLife, the official life insurance sponsor of the PGA Tour, for today's unique perspective of the Copperhead course down below. The MetLife Premier Client Group invites you to see their unique perspective. There's a good look at that Innisbrook logo right there on the 14th fairway. And then right below that, next to it, is the 15th tee, and that's where Jordan Spieth is right now, Mark.
And it would appear on paper like he might have an advantage here. He has played this 15th with 2 pars and a birdie. Ryan Moore has 2 pars and a bogey.
Well, Spieth's grabbed a 6-iron, Mark. Got a little breeze helping and from the right, which I think sets up beautifully for his little draw.
Totally agree with Gary Koch. I love it when he plays a draw more than trying to play a fade. And with these middle irons, if he has a tendency to miss, it has been a little bit short and a little bit right.
You just soft smoke, it's still fine. Yeah. So the landing get up to. A little off the right, I think. Good target, good tempo.
Pick your target and have a good tempo. The last words of advice.
Wow, this is right at the flagstick.
Oh, that's the kind of shot we like to see. Very aggressive play for Spieth. He's going to have about 7 feet for a birdie too. Let's take a look from up above. Nice aggressive swing. Just a slight draw, lands it at about 210 yards. Ball releases forward. Great time to hit a shot like that. All right, Your turn, Ryan Moore.
Before that, we get the second from Stenson out of the rough. We've seen some shots turn out okay from here, but it is a control issue out of this rough up the hill.
Yep, it's severely uphill. You cannot see, players cannot see the putting surface.
Wow,
he took a rip out of that. That was really sitting down, and that has squirted to the right, way right.
And well short for Stenson. If he can get that up and down and post 9 under, there's a chance, but Spieth's tied at 15 as we go there for the next tee shot.
Ryan Moore trying to answer Spieth's shot.
Chosen a 5-iron. This one kind of leaking away from the hole a bit toward the center of the green. I don't know if it was all that solid.
Mild applause from the crowd. Advantage Jordan Spieth there at 15. He and Ryan Moore tied for the lead at -10. That's how big that putt was at 14. We'll be right back.
Daniel Summerhays in the fairway at the 18th. Just watched as Henrik Stenson in his approach sailed right. 161 left for Summerhays, working from the fairway. Drove at 268. 156 the number coming in. And Summerhays in a good spot. See if he can hold that. That'll be a right to left putt, just falling a bit towards the front of the green. Now the back corner here at 17. Patrick Reed for birdie. Reed seeing if this will fall a little bit to his right. It's tracking. Patrick Reed just a ball above the cup. So close. Almost a 50-footer in the jar for a birdie for Patrick Reed. Would have been good for his 4th birdie on the back 9. Instead, it's going to be a par at 17. Henrik Stenson now, he's taking a look at the shot that will have to come in from the right side. Not a terrible angle. It's a clear slot from where he's at back to the pin. But it's about 90 feet, about a 30-yard shot here. And as we pan out, you can see it's sitting well on a tight lie. And he's likely thinking about flighting this low just to see once it's on the ground which way it could move. Stenson thinking about a number of options here. This is the craft that these players exhibit so well when they just kind of take a look and chart their course and think of a practical play that keeps par in play. Let's get out to Sean O'Hare.
Now Sean O'Hare back at 16.
Talking to Sean earlier, Peter, and he was just saying, you know, I've got to make sure that I don't take this too seriously, keep it fun, keep that attitude that I had when I was a kid. It's easier said than done when you're in this situation now.
It's been 2 years of hard work to try to get back to the winner's circle. And wow, it's all coming together right now for Sean. He just sits one back.
Henrik Stenson with his 3rd here at 18, one back.
Well, he's #1 in the field this week in scrambling, Dan, which is really incredible. It's not what he's known for. In fact, last year 171st on the PGA Tour and getting the ball up and down. That a good shot.
Yep, and he needed it to post 9 under. That would obviously be the lead in the clubhouse, back to 15.
And co-leader Ryan Moore with a chance to take the temporary outright lead.
A little over 30 feet here and coming up the hill. Mark, I think it might turn a little left at the hole. I don't see much break in it.
I don't think there's a whole lot of break. He could stand to make one right about now. Didn't hit it.
It actually worked a little right as well.
2 years ago at this tournament, Jordan Spieth had a strong finish, which included this pitch-in at the 17th to finish in a tie for 7. And last night when we were talking about it, Jordan told me he has always remembered how important that day was.
I could owe everything to this tournament. Coming in off a second at Puerto Rico and needing a certain amount of money to make my card, I knew that I didn't want to put pressure on it to happen in the last few starts. So I knew coming down the stretch, I had a couple memorable shots Saturday on 16 and Sunday a flop shot on 17 that solidified a top 10 finish, and my tour card gave me a job. So yeah, this tournament brings back great memories.
So when he says gave me a job, he means it gave him temporary membership, and that takes a lot of the heat off for a young player.
Exactly, because it allowed him to receive unlimited sponsor exemptions, which he ended up getting some more of, and then of course went on to win later in the summer.
4 months later,
the John
Deere went on to play on a President's Cup team, a Ryder Cup team, and again we said a long time ago how important this day was for Jordan Spieth. Again, just 21 years old and the one win, but he's had his chances, and right now he's on that doorstep yet again, and this putt would be huge to get himself another W.
Yeah, you can't underestimate the value of good memories. Means a lot.
Seems to be trying to find a little break in it, Roger. There is not much.
Yeah, it's certainly not off the hole. It's inside the right, if anything.
Pushed it. That was right off the putter.
Big putt for par for Stenson. Leaders have to go to the snake pit. Who knows what 9 under might mean here in a half hour or 45 minutes.
That is some very solid playing, Dan, on a very difficult golf course. No surprise, though, as we talked about with his ball striking capabilities.
Stenson, by the way, would go to number 2 in the world with a win or a solo second here and surpass Bubba Watson.
Look where he's aiming this tee shot.
Way right down that tree line here at 18. Reed aggressive here.
And he got it to turn. That is really good now. We'll leave a short iron.
That was just earlier. Reed off the tee in good shape in the fairway at 18. On St. Patrick's Day, the experts in love return. The all-new season of Undateable starts Tuesday right here on NBC. All right, let's set the first leg of the snake pit.
Well, it's a tough par 4. There's no question about it, Peter. It demands a good tee shot.
Yeah, on the tee here at 16. This is Jordan Spieth's history this week. He's hit 3 tee shots, all in the left rough. He's come out of here with 2 bogeys and 1 par. But it is the safe side, Gary. You can play from that left side.
Yeah, you're not going to play from the right side, that's for sure. This is, I think, the most demanding tee shot on the entire golf course, Peter.
Easily. Here's a good look at it from high above. You see it just dog legs to the right. All you're trying to do is just put the ball in the fairway. It's just, it's intimidating.
Well, it's almost hard to keep it out of the left rough, isn't it? Because you just can't go right.
Well, the good news for the players today, it is playing a little downwind, isn't it, Raj? So, I mean, you could certainly back off of, you don't need to hit a driver, even a 3-wood. You could probably
Correct.
hit a hybrid club down there and be all right.
Jordan has less than a 3-wood, I mean less than a driver right now, and you know the wind is down but also a little off the right, Gary.
Gary, this
Picture that shot. Yeah, I lost the line.
This is just one of those holes. There's a hole on every golf course that you think about the tee shot, and this is that hole.
It starts left. It's trying to cut, but may need to get down on that line.
It
Oh,
did.
it's fine.
Got down nicely. So now the worry is over. Now up ahead at the green, this is Sean O'Hair with this putt for birdie and a share at the top. There's a lot of movement behind the green. And at this point in the tournament, so very important to gather your focus. You should come up a little bit of a ridge and start turning left.
Get in the hole.
Did he? Did he? He did!
Oh, man! He's reminding everybody, hey, I can play. I'm coming back looking for that winner's circle.
Well, I talked to him on the range this morning, Peter. He said, you know what? I've done this before. It's just a matter of can I keep my head in it and do it again.
Well, he is right in the middle of it. Let's go to 18.
And so is Reed. The lead is Stenson 9 under in, and Reed is at that number right now coming up the hill. Posen holding that familiar abbreviated.
That's deep, though. That does not leave an easy putt from there up above the hole.
Yep, three's not likely from that position. Back to 16.
This is Ryan Moore now. Can he fit it down there? And familiar position left. Again, it just depends on the lie and whether he's blocked by a couple of those pine trees. But Sean O'Hair ties at the top with a birdie at 16. We'll be right back.
Sean O'Hair makes the birdie putt at the most difficult hole on the course today. The 16th is playing number 1 in difficulty, and yet O'Hair able to hold it to get to 10 under par, and now tied for the lead with Moore and Spieth. Matt Kuchar at the base of the green here at 18, his third. He's drifted back to 1 under par, trying to remain there. Nice pitch, a little bit of spin, controls that shot, hole high and about 3 feet to the right. So Kuchar trying to make sure he can hold that to remain in red figures, a 1 under total. Not his best work. He certainly would like to have had more out of the day, as he has slid outside the top 30 on the leaderboard with a 4 over round. He came into this final round 5 under. Made birdie at the first to get to 6 under, and at that point, briefly, he was within 3 of the lead. So now Patrick Reed, this 30 feet away, walks the hill. You get a look from behind the green. There's a little bit of a fall line that he's looking at, trying to visualize from that upper tier. It just drops to a lower shelf right about where he was positioned, about 8 feet in front of the cup. Just wants to see where the break will take it. So Reed, his longest putt so far this week, he has made a 24-footer. That's the longest. That came in yesterday's round at the 13th. So now seeing if he can pick up birdie here at the 18th. He has made par here all 3 rounds. This could take him to 10 under to join the lead. Patrick Reed with a huge putt makes that to get to 10 under par. 30-footer, he drops it in, and Patrick Reed right now in the thick of things, a share of the top spot.
Sean O'Hair is now trying to hit a little bit of a cut to that back right hole location.
Oh, he likes it, Peter. He said be good.
And that's the shot he's been working on, trying to get that left to right fade. To 18.
Currently, there are 3 players at 10 under.
Not an easy putt here down the hill. Pretty big swing to the right. This from right at 30 feet.
Patrick Reed to get down. Gary, we were just discussing that 9 under probably wouldn't be good enough to have a chance. Well, Patrick Reed just gave himself a great chance. You don't make birdies from up there. This guy back in the fight after
you got to
it all came unraveled at the Honda Classic, as we talked about earlier.
Well, and clearly, Dan, clearly he has not had his best game this entire week. Has been all over the golf course off the tee. So to finish at 10 under par, that's a true fighter there.
Bogey-free Reed is in his final 28 holes, Gary.
That's good on this golf course.
4 birdies to finish on the back 9.
202 total, yep.
Yeah, it's all about the lie.
Yeah, kind of a greasy looking lie, Peter. It's sitting on the deck. It might have even been an old divot, but it's not that it's deep, but it's on the deck and grass growing around it. It's kind of a greasy looking lie from 205. This one could jump a little.
Getting good.
That went right, didn't it? That's way right.
Man, that hit there. Well, people are pointing at it like it might have gone in the hazard. Well, let's take another look at it from above, see if we can see where the ball went. Well, it hit the trees and there it is.
Dropped
right
straight down. Yeah.
Doesn't have much of an angle, but at least he's dry.
Just like that last good strike. Yep.
Now Jordan.
196. See if you can work another cut and get it into that back right part of the green. Now this right of the hole.
And short in that bunker. So these guys have a lot of work here. They're going to stay at -10, tied at the top. Patrick Reed, what a putt down the hill at the home hole, trying to get in at 10, and he does.
Derek Ernst is from a moment ago at 17. He has slid to 3 under par. Ernst with a nice Saturday round to stay in the thick of things. He was just off the lead. This through the green. Ernst will have to try and scramble from there. After that win at the Wells Fargo Championship, he has struggled to find his way back into the top 10. He's at 3 under, 4-way tie at the top right now. A couple of players into the clubhouse, interested parties. Patrick Reed just made things less interesting for Henrik Stenson, as Stenson was the first to get to that 9 under total and end with a 67. And then he would wait and watch and see how things would unfold. But now Reed is in the clubhouse with his 10 under total, as he made a 30-footer at the home hole to join the other 3.
First to play, Ryan Moore with his 3rd.
Yeah, from the right rough here. Pretty lush here, but only 83 yards. Has to play it up across an oak tree ahead of him, but that's just not an issue. And Spieth's lie in the bunker is not what he wanted. It just came out of its crater, and he will have a very awkward stance with his feet way above the ball, maybe a left foot out of the bunker kind of thing potentially.
So you can see Ryan's got to fly this ball all the way back to that hole location, try to get this ball to stop quickly. That ball stopped quicker than I think he thought, certainly faster than I thought it would. And just up ahead, Sean O'Hara has this great look for birdie in the outright lead, Noda.
Peter, he couldn't have put it in a better place. Perfectly pin high, speed not an issue, straight up the hill, not a whole lot of break. It's kind of in a little valley here, so just a matter of controlling his nerves and trusting his stroke.
I don't think there's any break in this. We saw Stenson hit virtually the same putt, and he left it out on the right thinking it was going to turn left. I think this is straight in.
Hit it.
Now Spieth back at 16. Wow. I tell you, this kid's magic around the greens. Gary, it just doesn't seem like he's got any weaknesses other than his attitude. I know he gets upset from time to time, but look at this awkward stance, 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah, that was just really well played. It would have been very easy to catch too much sand there and leave that ball well short.
And I could argue that his getting upset is just youth and
yeah,
fire and
absolutely.
excitement.
And sometimes players need that to kind of motivate themselves.
Yeah, that's, I've always said, you can play with a short-term rage, but long-term rage will drive you off the tour.
Well, Jake, Ryan Moore certainly is in need of a par-saving putt right now, and these are earlier examples of putts for par that just didn't work out. This at the 3rd, which led to his 2nd straight bogey, another one at the 10th, Gary.
Yeah, that one off the hole to the right, and then again at 13, same type miss. And Danny's only 1 of 4 of putts from 3 to 7 feet today, and I mean, that's, you know, he makes a couple of those, which you would expect him to. You know, you would see him in the lead comfortably right now.
And this one is longer. This is 15 feet, and they're putting back in this, in the shadow of the trees, and everybody thinks this is going to go to the right. And Raj, I don't know if you've had a chance to look at it or not.
I thought it might go even a fraction to the left.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things we see on these greens. There's just tricky reads.
Look at that card.
Lots of circles, lots of squares.
You know, mind has to be spinning a little bit. 3 holes ago, he had a 3-shot lead. Now he's got to hold this to, you know, stay in the game, really.
Well, he's had a couple of great escapes. Remember, he bunkered off the tee at 11, had to lay it up, made birdie. So see if he can do it again.
Hit it.
Oh, again. So Ryan Moore will drop out of the lead.
Amazing, Peter, when you get trying so hard to make some of these putts coming down the stretch, grip pressure tightens up just a little bit. That putter doesn't have quite the same flow to it.
Crucial tee shot for O'Hare at 18. He's got driver, so he's going to try to move it up there.
He was working on a little low cut on the practice tee earlier today, and that's what he's hit. He's overdone it, and that's going to be in the trees.
Back to 16.
Yeah, see if Jordan can save another one. He looks at the hole again. So a good up and down for Jordan Spieth to stay tied at the top. And there is Justine Reed, Patrick's wife, keeping good close look at what's going on.
could be too much? Yes. Yes. Especially if
Well, we've seen a lot of this, Gary. A lot of ciphering back and forth.
Yeah, and that's interesting. They're saying that they think 5 could be too much. And if I remember correctly, Stenson hit a 5-iron, didn't he?
Yeah, he
Peter?
did.
Yeah,
He
and
did.
I kind of think that Stenson would be a stronger iron player than Jordan Spieth. This will be interesting to see.
Jordan, come on.
This is
Ryan.
flamed
Be
way right.
smart. Go hard.
I think he might have rather had that ball in the bunker there, Gary, because that ball is not only downhill, but it's deep in that rough. There's no room.
He just gets, his left arm gets away from his body coming down, Peter, sometimes, and he doesn't get that club face back to square. It's, you know, he hit the same shot back on the last hole, if you recall. He missed it right. Watch how his left arm gets away, and it's almost like the club goes down the line a little too long, and it never gets properly released.
So now he's faced with a very difficult up and down to save his par. Ryan Moore now.
With one more, he's got a 5-iron, Peter. Oh, this ball's turning left. This is at the left center of the green, but was not the shot shape he was looking for.
Yeah, but it's on. He's got a good look at it. It's an unlikely putt to make for birdie, but we've seen some crazy things today. Patrick Reed just waiting. O'Hare is getting a ruling over after his tee shot at 18, so we're going to step aside, take a break. We'll be right back.
Patrick Reed kicking back as he tries to become the 5th player in the last 25 years to win 5 times before the age of 25. Spieth just 21 out of 17, faced with a killer up and down here.
Oh, Roger, you had a chance to look at this lie. It's not good.
No, it is very deep, very lush. No green to work with now. Flagstick. That's the way to stop it.
I can't even begin to tell you how good that is.
Wow. He's been magical around the green, Stan. I mean, I am so impressed with these shots out of the long rough.
Well, nota begay, Sean O'Hare getting some relief from our tower.
Yeah, I was getting relief from your tower.
No, I completely agree with you, man.
An interesting interpretation of the rules. Instead of using the driver to get that relief, he used the shortest club in his bag, then dropped. The ball did roll more than 2 club lengths. He did it 2 times in succession and then was able to place it on this flat, relatively good lie. So he's got a perfect lie, 161 yards left, and a perfect opening to the hole.
So all in all, very fortunate.
Very fortunate, but a wise use of the rules there. The rules allow you to use 2 club lengths. It doesn't say you have to use the longest club in your bag. If you'd have gone farther away, you'd have brought that sandy area behind him into play.
Starts at the hole when pushing it left, tiny bit.
Well, it's back there deep and just through the green. So, longer version of where we saw Patrick Reed make it from, and that's up against that thick collar of the rough. So that'll be an interesting club selection.
O'Hare tied with 1 of 3 there at 10 under. Back to 17.
Ryan Moore now, this putt 37-7. You can see the make percentage is just 5%, but we've seen some crazy things the last couple of weeks.
Well, he needs a little magic right about now.
Putt should move just a little to his right, Roger.
Yeah.
How about it? The ball actually turned a little bit left, which is surprising. Haven't seen it do that all day long. Still, it's a good par 3. Let's take another look at Jordan's splash out of this heavy stuff. But he got that ball up quickly. It's a beautiful shot. Look at the stance.
Yeah, look how he keeps the flex in the knees, Peter. That's how you get that club down and under the ball. Too many of the average players, you know, tend to try to scoop it or help it up in the air. Got to go the other way. You got to get that club down to make the ball go up.
So let's see if Jordan chooses to look at the hole on this or look at the ball. He's been back and forth, Raj. It seems like he just does it. There's no rhyme or reason to it. He just does it.
Correct. It's totally at random. I guess it's that last-minute feeling he gets what he needs to do.
There's nothing much on this putt. Pretty straight. There it is again. That is a tremendous up and down for Spieth to stay tied at 10. Great stuff, Jordan.
He's got that factor. He's got that it factor.
Yeah, he
just
does.
has a knack for doing what you need to do in moments like this. Looked like there was just no way he was going to save par.
Talked with him about that looking at the hole this morning on the range, and you know, we'll take another look at this. I mean, it's clear he's looking right at the hole. He said when he does that, Dan, it frees up his stroke. He doesn't worry about the mechanics, and the putter seems to flow through the ball better. It's a great drill. In fact, it's a drill I do, and I know a lot of other professionals do it. And, you know, kudos to the young man to be able to have the guts to do it on a putt like that.
Okay, so Spieth stays at 10 under with O'Hare, who's trying to stay at that number. Huge day for him, right up against the collar. He's got a wedge out here.
He's going to try to belly this thing. He's going to try to make a putting stroke and try to catch the middle of the ball. The tough thing here to me, Dan, is getting the speed right. This is down the hill, and you know, it's got break to it, pretty good to the right.
And Gary, he also has to navigate this little uphill, so he's got to give it enough pace to carry up and over this tiny ridge in front of him, and then it's going to run away, like you mentioned.
When you have these belly shots, it's just more of a kind of a straightforward shot. There's not as much going on as there is in this.
Exactly, and usually, Dan, you're much closer to the hole than this, and therefore it's not that difficult to judge the amount of effort you need to get the ball to go the right distance. But this is very tricky.
We've talked about how the last 2 years have been a huge struggle for O'Hare. Second straight year. He lost his card outside of the top 150, had to regain the card via the web.com tour, lost his confidence entirely. Here he is trying to get this down in 2 to stay tied at 10 under.
I would say if he gets this within Noda, I would say if he gets it down there within 4 or 5 feet of the hole, he's done very well.
I would consider that an excellent shot.
Slow down. It's got to slow down. That's pretty darn good. Pretty good.
That will be the biggest nervous putt he's had in a long time. Let's set up the tee shots here for this final group.
Well, we see where Jordan Spieth has driven the ball. Twice he's missed the fairway to the left.
Now here he is on the tee.
Get in the sand. Bunker. Come
It's
on.
left again. He's yelling for it to get into the bunker.
Now Ryan Moore, one back, needs a birdie.
Really need to hit the fairway. And he did.
Well, Couple groups ahead of him. Patrick Reed got the birdie he needed to get to 10 under, and just hasn't been the day that Derek Ernst was hoping for. Big story yesterday, keeping it together even though his game was erratic to say the least. It's been a +4 day for Ernst as he plays the last here, playing alongside Sean O'Haire.
Well, can't help but think, Dan, that he had to be the most nervous man teeing off in this final round. Up there near the lead, he's only had one top 25 finish in his PGA Tour career. That was when he won in Charlotte.
And there's Reed, now off of the Adirondack chair and up hitting some balls.
Well, definitely what you want to do. You want to get over there. You want to stay loose, keep your body moving.
Who knows? We could be headed for a playoff with his old Ryder Cup pal. Well, not old. They just teamed up. Glen Eagles went 2-0-1 together. They were really one of the positive spirits of that team. And now here is O'Haire, who wants to stay at that 10 under number and have a chance.
Dan, he was saying he enjoys being in the hunt. Love standing over that shot where the nerves are feeling, and see if you can do it or not.
He got it that from 4.5 feet. So it all held up confidence wise, swing wise, and Sean O'Haire has a chance at 10 under, tied with Patrick Reed. Spieth behind them playing the 18th, also at that number. Ryan Moore has a chance to get to 10 under. What an up and down.
Yeah, that was great. That really was. Awkward position behind the green. Solid putt there, just rammed it in the back of the hole.
Every time we talk to him this week, Gary, you know, you hear players, oh yeah, I want to go out there and have fun. He did have seemed to have a renewed sense of peace. And Ernst finishing up after that big win at Wells Fargo years ago. Second best tour finish it'll be for Ernst, who outside of that win, the best he had was a top 25 finish. So one of them since then. So now Reed and now O'Haire in at 10 under. Drama wise, Gary, I don't think you could have asked for much more out
no,
of this
it's great.
final
Well,
round
I
Sunday.
think this golf course has really set the stage for these great players, and it's been interesting. We've seen good shots, we've seen birdies, we've seen bogeys, and now it'll be interesting to see exactly where Jordan Spieth's drive ended up at 18. It will not be an easy second shot, whether it's in the rough or in the bunker. There's some trees between where he is, and you know, it won't be easy, that's for sure, Roger.
Well, you're right. He's in the fairway bunker here left, and the one thing he has going in his favor is the ball will be above his feet. It's a pretty decent lie. Got 156, but he's going to have to sling a hook, which the ball above his feet, I think, should help. But still, not an easy shot, as you say.
Now Moore needs a birdie, and he's in a good spot.
164, right side of the fairway. As good an angle as you're going to find.
Uphill second shot, players can't see the green. Tough to get the distance correct.
Pretty good contact and a pretty good looking golf shot here. Come up short?
Yeah, well, it came up just short, Raj, and it took a big kick to the left, and it's missed the green left.
Ryan Moore led this tournament by 3 with 6 to play, and now
just what we were talking about, Dan. Hard to get the distance right. Yep. That landed, you know, a good 8 or 10 yards short of where he needed to.
Has to make that as it just dipped into the rough. Now Spieth. Birdie wins it.
Well, I'm sure right now he'd be more than happy to get this thing up on the green somewhere.
Oh, Jordan.
Oh,
fat.
he got it fat.
Really fat.
Enough grass behind it, dude.
Oh, and that's That's going to leave a tough pitch with not much green to work with.
Has to get it up and down from there to join a playoff. Can he do it one more time? Can he make a seemingly impossible up and down like he did at 17? Spieth needs it to join a playoff at 10 under.
Well, the lie is reasonable. And he's going to have to play a big, high flop shot.
Only about 5 yards of green over that bunker.
Remember, he holed a bunker shot out on his way to his first PGA Tour victory at the John Deere to get into a playoff. So he's got a flair for the dramatic.
It's going to carry a little too far.
Well, but that's the safe shot. At least gives himself a putt. A chance to get in at 10 under if you come up short.
Reed the first to get in at 10 under. O'Hare joined him at 10 under. And now Spieth a par putt away from making it a three-way playoff. And then there's Ryan Moore, who needs the birdie. Has to hole out after his ball just trickled into that rough. So it is still possible for a four-way playoff. They had a five-way playoff at Puerto Rico last week.
And this is the kind, Gary, you think about making. He's not that far from the hole. He's maybe 20 feet from the hole. That's it. Uphill, going to move to his right.
It's all about the contact and getting the ball to carry to the place where you need it to. Get the contact. That's, and I mentioned it earlier, the shorter shots around the greens here are the toughest ones to me, because you have to keep the speed up through that sticky overseeded grass, and your tendency is to just not hit it hard enough. You know, it's such a short shot.
So Moore officially out of it. And this 54-hole leader comes up short.
Yeah, this will sting. I mean, remember the position he was in early in this back nine after the bogey at 10 when he came back with birdies at 11 and 12, and I mean, he looked like he was in control.
About the position that Patrick Reed was in, tied for 80th, 15th, 5th, now in first. Those are his positions by round as he just crept up the leaderboard during the week.
Great crowds around this 18th green, Raj. Nice atmosphere.
It's just been a terrific day. Best day I can ever remember in this event. Exciting with the lead changing and more guys getting tied for the lead. It's just been roar after roar, and the crowd is into it.
So the only question right now, will it be a three-man or a two-man playoff?
Well, great up and ends at 16 and 17, Gary. Can you pull another one out of the hat at the last?
He's trying to become only the fourth player in the last 75 years to win 2 PGA Tour titles before the age of 22. Only others, Tiger, Sergio, and Robert Gomez. This for par to join the playoff at 10 under. Came back and went in. It looked like it was going to drift right.
Unbelievable. What a great read. I was with you, Dan. I thought it was going to miss to the right. And how about the 3 up and downs on the final 3 holes for Jordan Spieth?
Clutch, clutch, clutch. Been saying it for a while, how this guy seems to have it all. The entire package. Big moments, rising to the occasion. And Reed's got more company with his Ryder Cup teammate and Sean O'Hare, former PGA Tour Rookie of the Year in his own right.
this is a tough moment for Ryan Moore. You've let a tournament slip away. Been there. It's hard to keep your concentration. Yeah, no surprise.
So you think it's not easy closing out PGA Tour events? This is the 8th consecutive PGA Tour event in which the 54-hole leader has failed to win. Ryan Moore with a bogey at the last. 2 back out of the playoff. Stenson 1 out of the playoff. And we are headed to just the 2nd playoff in the 15-year history of this event. Previous one coming back in 2012 when Luke Donald won a 4-man playoff with a birdie on the first extra hole. So they're going to go back to the 18th if it doesn't get settled there. Back to the beginning of the snake pit. What a performance down the stretch for Jordan Spieth. What a finish. Reed, first of all, birdies the 18th. One of 4 birdies on the back 9. 5 birdies, no bogeys for him. He finishes with a 66. O'Hare has a great par at 18, and Spieth just kept pulling rabbits out of a hat all day long, especially down the stretch. There is Sean O'Hare in what is the biggest day in a long time in his career, talking about it all week, how he lost all the confidence, the swing in his game, and yet here he is, Gary, with a chance to pick up a PGA Tour victory. He was a Rookie of the Year at one point. Jordan Spieth was a Rookie of the Year at one point of the PGA Tour, and Patrick Reed has a chance to pick up 5 victories before he turns 25.
Well, it'll be very interesting. All good stories, no question about it. Of the 3, I'm not sure anyone has the advantage. Although Jordan Spieth made some unbelievable putts there on the back 9. 1 putts at 13, 14, 16, 17, and 18.
Just did not look like he was going to be in the position that he's in. So if you just joined us, some of the examples of how this all happened. Ryan Moore again was the 54-hole leader by 1. He bogeyed the 2nd and the 3rd to fall back to 8 under, but this from 174 yards with a 7-iron at the 6th to take a 2-shot lead at the time. Eagle drops for Moore, and it looked like he was in control. And then Patrick Reed for birdie at the 12th has just kept inching his way up the leaderboard. His 3rd birdie in the first 12 holes to get to that 8 under number. He was still chasing, and then this was O'Hare's 3rd at the 14th.
And not an easy little pitch here from short of the green. Judges the distance absolutely perfectly.
So O'Hare picks up a birdie to get to 9 under, and then Spieth at the same hole after birding the 13th with a beautiful tee shot there, drops this one in for back-to-back birdies, and he's tied with Ryan Moore at that point at 10 under. And then Reed, another one at 15.
Pretty straight putt. He hits it firmly enough again, and you can see he's into it. You get these fist pumps. He knows he's got a chance.
At that point, Reed is 1 back, and then Sean O'Hare at the par 4 16th to get to the 10 under number.
Just the 5th birdie of the day at the difficult par 4 16th.
He ended up parring the last 2. He got in at 10 under. And then at 18, boy, was this some quality clutch play with the pressure on. Reed with a birdie to cap off a 66. And then O'Hare with this little knee knocker after he bellied that wedge from a difficult position. Huge save for par for O'Hare to get into that 10 under number. And when it looked like Spieth really didn't have much of a chance at all, just like he showed us, all back 9 delivers a clutch par save of his own to get in at that 10 under number. Just one of the best golf tournaments we have seen this PGA Tour season. I mean, it's been a great start to the Florida Swing. We had the Honda Classic, which was good. We saw Padraig Harrington win there, Dustin Johnson last week in Miami. And so while the guys get ready to tee it up again at 18, let's get our thoughts from some of our other guys and start off with you, Mark Rolfe. You made the comment earlier that you did think that this is the best event we've seen so far in the PGA Tour season.
It's amazing, Dan. Just 2 years ago, this tournament really was on life support, and I really do believe this is the best tournament we've seen all year on the PGA Tour.
Jake, pretty good stuff, huh?
Yeah, well, everyone's talking about Patrick Reed and Jordan Spieth. Don't forget about Sean O'Hair. He's coming back, and he wants to win again, and I think he's got a good shot.
So getting things started at 18.
Gentlemen, Gary Hendrickson, the CEO of Valspar, excellent host, is going to assist us here. And we're going to play 18, 16, 17, and 18 in the playoff. Patrick, you finished first, so you'll draw first. And then Sean, you'll draw, and then Jordan, you'll draw. Gary? 1. Take 1, buddy. Okay. Patrick drew 1. He'll lead off. 2. 2, Sean. 3, Jordan. Play well, gentlemen.
So Patrick Reed will get things going again. He took that driver, Gary, and he just smacked it down there.
You know, to be honest with you, it's to me, it's not a comfortable shot trying to fit a draw into this fairway. You know, the first 3 rounds, he missed the fairway to the left. You have to take this ball right down the tree line if you're going to play a draw and find the fairway.
And of course, the last time he played it, he made the birdie. So let's see what he can do here.
Job,
Absolutely gutted. Started it up the right, drew it right to the center.
Sean O'Hair's next, and we remember where he went. Wasn't too long ago, right behind our tower, Noda.
They paid you guys a visit up in that tower. I know he hopes he's not up there again.
I don't think he wants to come by again.
Well, he's gone to the far right-hand side of the tee, so he's going to go back to trying to hit that little low cut that he was working on the practice tee earlier today. Overdid it in regulation. And he's overdone it again.
Oh, that
that's
takes
off the
bounce
cart
off
path.
the path. We'll see if he's got a window from there. Now Spieth.
Yeah, no, Spieth has struggled here on the 18th as well. He's missed the fairway left 3 times.
That's okay when you're Houdini.
This ball drawing to the left side of the fairway. It's close to the bunker.
I think it's going to come up just short and just off the fairway, so no real issue there.
So a 3-man playoff on the way at 18. Who's going to take it? O'Hair, Reed, or Spieth, and take the Valspar Championship.
Let's take a look at these 3 in the sudden death playoff, how they have played. 18 birdie for Spieth in the second round. A mixed bag for O'Hair. 2 birdies, though, and a bogey. So he has also been able to play this 18th and 1 under, as has Patrick Reed. And his birdie came in the final round. So you'd have to feel good about the way he sets up here at the 18th, the first extra hole. He has 148 coming in. He drove it 276. So Reed is more centered in the fairway, likely a better angle coming into the pin. Meanwhile, Jordan Spieth drove it deeper, 281, but it's just in that little step cut on the left side, and 141 the yardage for Jordan Spieth. Meanwhile, Sean O'Hair, not quite sure whether he has a blocked lie or not, but he has 170 to the flag. A sudden death playoff, three-way tie with Patrick Reed, Sean O'Haire, and Jordan Spieth. And a lot of fans in tow around the 18th, all ready to cheer on the ultimate champion here at the Valspar. And these players feel the energy from the crowd, and they're all, it seems, a little more amped up as these extra holes are underway. We'll see if it's Reed from the center of the fairway, Spieth on the left side, or can O'Haire scramble?
The weather and the scenery here in the Tampa Bay area pretty much matching the drama of this final round of the Valspar Championship. As you take a look from atop Innisbrook Resort and the Copperhead course and the MetLife Blimp Snoopy 1. The author of all those beautiful views from high above some 1,500 feet in the air, MetLife Premier Client Group invites you to see their unique perspective. All right, so what about O'Haire this time, Noda?
Well, he's almost up against the cart path. He's going to be standing on it. Where the ball sits now, he's got a clear shot at the hole. But as he takes relief, he'll be bringing this tree that's about 30 yards in front of him into play.
Look about right? Yeah. 12 away from the later.
Take away twigs and all that, right?
Yeah, you can't really brush it.
Right, I can just pick them up.
Pick some stuff up.
Just checking with PGA Tour official Mark Russell that it is okay to remove some loose impediments before he actually drops the ball. Within 1 club length of where he was free and clear of the cart path.
Yep.
All right, thanks, sir.
You're not going to be strong. You've got plenty of room. Stand on the path.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Nice clean lie, Gary.
Longer shot this go round, Noda, that he had in regulation?
Yeah, he's got about 11 yards further. And the tree in front of him has to be thought about, but shouldn't really come into play.
About 95.
Yep, exactly. I'm 11.6. Yeah.
That absolutely awesome.
I'm just thinking you'd,
I think it's a little 5 then.
you know, in 74 cover.
74 cover.
74 covers it.
I like this.
Okay.
Well, that's unusual. Player going against his caddy.
80,
Shane Height suggesting the 6-iron, but I like this because this is what he feels is the right club, and that goes right.
Oh, wait a second. Upon further review.
Yeah, he's going to go with the caddy, which I would have rather seen him stick with the 5-iron because that's what he felt, and that's what he's been working on so much, is playing by feel.
Good looking shot falling left of the hole.
Oh, good call. That's a good shot from there.
Yep, he didn't mess around with that stuff in front of the green. He covered indeed.
Really nice keeping the lower body quiet so your feet won't slip.
You know, when he was on his game all those years ago, Gary, he was once as high as 12th in the world. Just a beautiful swing. Gotten his way through the years. Now Reed from 151.
Sets up great for his high draw.
Yeah, right there.
Turning just left of the hole.
Ooh, it comes up short. A little bit of breeze up there into the players, and it is an uphill shot of, you know, the players factor in about 7 or 8 yards extra.
It's like it came out of its pitch mark in there, but get a better report in just a moment. Now Spieth, Raj.
Just off the edge of the fairway, 145. This looks like an 8-iron to me. Which I think should be the perfect club. He's hit it very, very high. Boy, it's on a good line if it's up.
It is. is. What a shot from Jordan Spieth.
He was licking his lips like he liked it. And this could be the end of it all if Jordan Spieth can wrap that home. We will see.
So Jordan Spieth advantage to the 21-year-old, 10 feet 3 inches from the flag. You've got Patrick Reed, who looks like he's in the deep facing of the bunker. He will have to try and dig that out. Not sure if it came out of that pitch mark. And then Sean O'Hare, about 35 feet from the flag. So Spieth certainly feeling that the momentum has shifted in his direction. And now we'll come up the 18th. Trying to now just calm the nerves and make sure, as he watches the other two, that he still can execute. "10 feet 3 inches for Jordan Spieth as he marks that. He is now going to be the last to play among this group. Three-way tie at the end of regulation. Patrick Reed now looking at what he has inside the bunker. So he will be the first. Oh, you can see in just a moment what the lie looks like for Patrick Reed. It is a buried lie up against the bank of the bunker. It never came out of that pitch mark, and it's going to be a very tough shot for Patrick Reed coming up. First to play here in sudden death.
Well, Patrick Reed not okay here at 18. Ball buried right below the lip of the bunker. And his reaction when he saw it, I had thought before we went to break that it kind of came out somewhere down the bottom, but not to be. Really tough here.
Yeah, ball wants to squirt to the right is going to be the issue.
Well,
he did it pretty well. It came out right.
Everybody's been scrambling at 18. Why not have Patrick Reed join the group of great saves that we've seen?
He just hit behind it. Don't worry about the follow through.
Well, if he saves that to keep this thing alive, I think we've seen it all.
Well,
today.
He hopes that he has the chance.
That's true.
to make that putt to stay alive.
Because Spieth is lined up for a birdie that could be a winner, but O'Hare is lining up for one of his own. We saw Reed make one from back here in the vicinity earlier this afternoon.
Well, and Noda, this is on a similar line to where he played his third shot in regulation. Is that not correct? So he should have a pretty good idea about how it moves.
Gary took the words right out of my mouth. I was just thinking that his ball was sitting down in a sort of pseudo collection area at the left center section of this green, and he knows what it does. It's just if he can line up the speed, it's gonna be close.
So that sets the stage for Jordan Spieth to win it with a birdie on the first extra hole. A guy that has such a clear idea of where he wants to go in this game. And talking with him last night, he said, yeah, there's a bit of a change into the guard on tour. Golf needs somebody to carry the game the way that Tiger and Phil have for such a long time. It doesn't need to be one person, he said, but Rory's doing that now and doing it really well. And then I thought it was really interesting what he said next. He said, Rory is the guy that all of us are chasing, and he's the one that I'm focused on. He's the guy that we have to challenge and raise our game up to where he is. So he's not shy about telling anybody that he wants to be the #1 player in the world, and he's just this birdie putt away from putting away his second PGA Tour victory before the age of 22 to join only 3 others in the last 75 years to do it.
It's from Just over 10 feet.
So the playoff is going to continue. Will it be 2 or 3? He's got this little short one for the par, and then remember, Reed still has a chance to join him at the beginning of the snake pit at 16.
Well, I think he hit a good putt there, Dan. The speed was very good. He was just looking and expecting it to break a little bit more to the left.
Patrick Reed actually 2-0 on the tour in playoffs. 1-0 this season. He beat Spieth in 2013 in Greensboro. Now has a chance to join the group back at the 16th in what would be an amazing clutch up and down from underneath the lip of the bunker. It'll be 3 at 16. What a save by Reed.
This guy is tough.
Birdie in regulation, Gary, and one of those virtually impossible saves. How good has this golf been?
Well, it has been great, Dan. We have seen any number of well-executed shots, clutch putts.
And many people will tell you that these are the 2 best young Americans in the game. Just as far, not only from a skill level, but from a clutch play level. And so it was really no surprise that they were the heart and soul of an American losing team at Glen Eagles. Sean O'Hair will join them at the beginning of the snake pit again.
I look back at earlier today with these players all trying to score this win at the Valspar Championship, all feeling the pressure. This was Jordan Spieth and his approach at the second. Big approach coming into the par 4, sets up an easy birdie. Now at 14, back 9. A right to left putt. He made that one, feeling that energy from the crowd. Now at 18, this for par. And a delicate putt above the hole. He made that. He just unfortunately missed the birdie a moment ago, but still in this. He could have ended it with a birdie, but now it's on to the 16th, the most difficult hole on the golf course, as all 3 remain in the picture. The par 4 16th next for the 3 in the playoff. In the final round, we saw just 4 birdies made at 16 today. Nicholas Thompson, Henrik Stenson, Sean O'Hair, and Brendan Todd. So the only player left in the playoff to make birdie at 16, the toughest hole on the course today, was Sean O'Hair. So advantage O'Hair when it comes to his most recent visit to the 16th. We'll see if he can do the same thing as we head back out to sudden death here at the Valspar.
Back to the 16th, the second playoff hole. Patrick Reed on the tee.
Oh, this is a solid looking tee shot.
Well, he was in the left rough.
Chased out a little too far.
Yeah, he was in the left rough earlier, just a few holes ago. So he's familiar with that position.
I don't think he'll have any tree issues, though, this time, Peter.
No, he'll be all right. Now, Sean O'Hair, remember, Gary, he hit it in the water to the right on Friday, made double bogey, but he birdied here on Saturday and earlier today, so he's got to have a good feel.
Let's see if he tries to play the left to right shot, which he did in regulation.
Pulled this just a little bit, really high, trying to work back toward the fairway.
Oh, that's perfect. Left side, good angle to that whole location, which is back right.
What's that? Yeah, just like that one. Regulation. Yep.
Jordan earlier today found the middle of the fairway, but he's got played this hole in 2 over this week. Bogeys Thursday, Friday, and pars Saturday, Sunday. Got to say, I took a good kick. That's fine too. No tree trouble there. So 2 balls in the left rough, 1 in the left side of the fairway as we head down the 16th hole, second playoff hole. So Sean O'Hare's reaction back at the 18th. Patrick Reed, yeah, baby. And how about Jordan Spieth?
Well, these players earlier today, as they came through the 16th, it's a 464-yard par 4, just 4 birdies made here, including the one made by Sean O'Hare. And even though he doubled this hole in the second round, he followed that with a pair of birdies to even up the week. So Reed, pars throughout, double bogey, but then evening things up with Sean O'Hare. 2 over is Jordan Spieth on this hole. Now, he talked about driving it to the right the last couple of days and how really put him in a tough spot, very frustrated with that swing, but this time looks like he steers it in the proper direction, and he is in position just in the cut of rough and hoping that he can get himself in position to where he can have a shot into this green. And right now, Reed looking at about 180 coming in. Jordan Spieth driving it down the left side, has 211 yards coming in. So he's one of those players that at the very least, as you look across the water down the entire right side, he'll be playing from the left side. Not a bad angle, but perhaps at least a club, maybe 2 more than Patrick Reed, who has just 180 coming in. Sean O'Hare also down the left side, looks to be in a solid spot. He has right at 211 yards coming in. So the Valspar Championship coming down to sudden death, and these 3 all battling to see who can take it. 191 the yardage for Jordan Spieth coming in.
Take a look at that hole location at 16. By the way, neither Spieth or Reed, both Texans, will be in the field at Bay Hill. They're going to save their next starts for San Antonio or Houston before the Masters.
Well, a good look here at the 16th hole. You see the players trying to just fit it in that fairway there. It's about 30 yards wide. Once you get to that tee shots, you turn to the right, and there's the green, that hole location back right. So the players are going to have no trouble fitting that ball into that green between the trees. But when you get to that green, it presents a whole bunch of different problems. So many little humps and bumps and rolls and slides.
95. A little down and off the right?
Down and off the right, exactly.
6.
I love the 6. Watch your shadow on that.
Oh,
Same
Peter,
target there, Sean. Love it.
Couldn't have a nicer lie. He's got a nice angle. Trees to the right, not really a factor.
Well, this sets up for the shot that Sean's been working on. He's trying to play a little bit of a fade, so you're going to see him aim right in the middle of that green and try to work it from left to right.
He hit a 6-iron on the first playoff hole, so might try and improve on that just a bit. Oh, this is a nice looking shot.
Wow, big hole. Whoa. How about that? Peter, that's the biggest bounce I've seen on a green all day.
Gary, it's the same shot he hit earlier in regulation, but his ball stopped quickly. That one kicked forward.
Almost like it landed on a slight downslope coming off that bunker.
Yeah, and it's a fortunate time to do that, too. That's one of the few we've seen do exactly that. Jordan's next. What's he? How's that lie, Raj?
Well, and, you know, it's a little furry, but this rough on the left-hand side is a little burned out on the high side of the fairway, so not as thick as it is in places. Got 190 yards here.
Jordan, nice ball. Sit down.
Flyer. Well, he wants it down. It's left to the hole just a little bit.
Just a little.
Yeah, very little.
How impressive is this? Shot for shot.
Stayed on the green,
Take another look from up above here. As you can see, it's browned out that Roger was talking about on that
You
left
could hear
side.
him. He knew it jumped, Peter, as soon as it took off. He said, sit down. It did.
That was a laser right at.
He was afraid
The
it was going
American
over
flag.
the green. Yeah.
Now, Patrick Reed next, playing very quickly.
Same type of lie. This from 179.
Fight. Come on, Patrick.
And that one did jump.
Yeah. Well, we've seen the grass is growing straight up, so it's not laying any direction. So it looks to me like he's got a bit of a chance there.
So a variety from these three players earlier here at this 16th hole. Let's see what Patrick Reed did. He got left and then he scooted it up to this point, and this was his clutch third.
Yeah, played a beautiful little pitch and run, put the ball way back in his stance, drove it in there low, and got it to release.
Able to save par, remained at 9 under, birdied 18 to get into the playoff. And then there was O'Hare for birdie.
Up the hill, read the putt perfectly. Just the 5th birdie of the entire day from the field here at 16.
That got him to that 10 under number. And then there was Spieth from the awkward stance from the bunker.
Just another Houdini recovery.
Saving his par. So O'Hare birdied it earlier. Both Reed and Spieth made impressive par saves. And here come the threesome up to the 16th for a nice round of applause. Not many people have left here, and they've all obviously gone on out to the course at the 16th hole. Record crowds this week at the Valspar Championship, and these three players delivering a playoff performance worthy of some of the best golf we've seen this year. So Spieth, Reed, and O'Hare in a playoff. Henrik Stenson, by the way, just out of it by 1, makes his 6th top 5 finish in his last 10 worldwide starts. He tied for 4th, remember, at Doral last week. So Henrik Stenson is playing some good golf.
Absolutely.
Just short this week.
Seeing some better scores today too, Dan. The wind down a little bit, and the lowest stroke average for the week was today.
And you saw Harris English go by there. He had the round of the day, 65, on a day when it's playing just about 70.6 scoring average. And so it is Reed away. And Raj, what are the prospects of him getting this one up and down?
Well, it's a thick lie back here, grass growing straight up here, and the ball's down. So he's going to have to make an aggressive swing at this with an open club face and just try to plop it down on the very front part of the green, if not even the fringe.
Well, he's reading the break, so he's got to think he's got a good chance of getting this up and out softly.
Well, one thing I like about his game, Peter, is he always thinks he has a chance. Plays every shot with a great deal of confidence.
How about it? So there you go, folks. When you have a really tough chip, read the green. Wow. So take a look. He's going to really keep the speed up here, throw it straight up in the air.
How about these last 2 up and downs? Buried lie 18, that lie here at 16.
Well, Gary, as we predicted before the week, we knew we were going to see a whole lot of scrambling going on. This golf course just, you've got to be patient. You've got to have a strong short game and the will to win.
And I think Raj really hit on something earlier. Confidence. I mean, O'Hare is kind of getting that confidence back, but Jordan Spieth and Patrick Reed are 2 of the most confident guys out here. They don't care if they're 24 and 21. It just exudes they're going to get it done. And they have proved that again today.
Yeah, they certainly have. We've seen some marvelous recovery shots by those two.
So now this is Rod's just a bit uphill from the back of this green.
Just as it comes onto the green, to me, it's a little bit of a double breaker. It looks like it's when it first gets on the green, it wants to go a shade right. Then if it's dying in the area of the hole, it may sneak back left.
There it is. There it goes left. So that sets the stage now for Sean O'Hare, a 32-year-old. He's been working on his game for the last 2 years. He's been away from the limelight. He said he's been working on his attitude, trying to stay positive while he works hard at it. It's fun to be back into contention, and now he's got a chance to take it all right here.
Jake, one top 10 in his last 65 PGA Tour starts. That was a tie for 10th at Bay Hill last year. Earlier, we mentioned that he got to as high as 12th in the world, played on a President's Cup team. Now he's 401st in the world. That is how far he has fallen. What this putt could mean to him is immeasurable.
Just earlier this week, he informed me on the range that Friday afternoon late he found out he's going to get to play next week, and that's another sponsor exemption. That's how he's in this week, so that could all change right here.
Get in the hole.
That looked so good, Dan. Everybody else's ball had moved left at the hole. That one looked like it had to, and it didn't.
I think he thought it went in too, Gary. I mean, look at that. He said, you cannot be serious. Boy, to come that close to your first win in 4 years. So now he's just got to walk over to 17 and get it all together again. Now Spieth and Reed still have to tap. They've only got about a foot and a half left each. The 17th hole today is yielding some birdies, Gary. We've seen 12 over there. The whole location is accessible. Tee is up.
And you know what, Jake, we talked about how this tournament has been one of the best all season long. It has been a PGA Tour season chock full of drama and excitement. This is the 8th playoff in 18 events this season and the 5th in the last 7 tournaments. So close finishes have been the norm on the PGA Tour, and this one goes on over at the 17th.
Let's take one more look at Sean's putt. As Gary said, it just trickles left right there, and it didn't. Still got a lot of the hole. And the players talk about this course. It's not only physically exhausting, but mentally exhausting. But look at that. They're all flocking to the 17th. They heard there's a playoff. So as I said, there's 12 birdies here today at the 17th.
And remember, in regulation, Peter, Sean O'Hare clearly hit the best shot of the 3 participants.
And I think he was worried so much about the break that he forgot to hit it. He had the thing dead in the heart.
Yeah, Spieth missed the green to the right and made an unbelievable up and down, and Patrick Reed's tee shot was well left of the hole.
This is the point where you got to dig deep. It's late in the day. Played a lot of golf. Take a look at that. Most birdies in the final round here at the 17th today, 12. So it goes to show you that it is doable right here.
Yeah, he's got 6 iron out, Peter Reed does, and it's really not a hole location that you would think sets up well for him. Likes to draw it. It doesn't really seem conducive to hitting a draw in here.
Yeah, earlier Roger did start it right of the hole. He swung it all the way across the green to the left side and had about a 40-footer for birdie. Almost made it.
He's aiming way right now.
He's hit it high. And it's right. It's not turning.
Well, see, that
sounded chunky too.
Yeah, you know, that's where not having the ability to hit the ball relatively straight or with a little cut, you know, you feel like you have to go at it by throwing the ball way to the right like that.
Well, you remember at the Honda Classic on the 15th hole, the start of the bear trap, he started it right of the green trying to swing it back and didn't turn it enough, and it went in the water.
It's a much more comfortable looking shot for this man, Noda.
It sure is, and this is his third 6 iron in a row, so if he hits it anything like he did on the last hole, should set up really nice for him.
Well, he said he's been too swing mechanic oriented for the last 2 years. He's trying to get back to the feel and the attitude of just playing golf and having fun.
That one's left. That had to be a pull. That's okay.
Good Jordan. Let's go, Jordan.
Well, he tried to hit a cut, and he knew that it wasn't cutting. Watch the follow through, kind of trying to hold it off a little, but by that time that ball's long gone.
A little Arnie-esque, huh?
Yeah, it was.
Little Sevy-like as well. So there you go. Remember, Jordan earlier hit it to the right and made an incredible up and down from the deep rough, pin high.
And Jordan's got a 6 iron.
That one started on a better line.
Yeah, at the center of the green, really not cutting much. Left the hole, but not bad.
So we got 2 on the green, 1 in the bunker. We'll see what happens. I'm sure there's going to be still a whole lot of scrambling going on.
So the closest to the flag right now is Jordan Spieth, all pars as we look at his week of work at the 17th. Big par 3 with the pin cut all the way back today. The only player to card birdie here the entire week was Patrick Reed of these 3 that are still in the playoff. Now Sean O'Hare is on the green but 40 feet away on the opposite side of the green, and at the very least Jordan Spieth has a fairly straight uphill putt 20 feet to the cup, maybe a little bit less than that, and that green side bunker to the right is where Patrick Reed will go to work. So Reed once again forced to play first on each of these extra holes. He's had to play from a hazard or off the green, and he's going to do it again here. A 3-way tie at 10 under par, and all the fans gathering around 17 now. A big green. As you look from overhead, you can see how deep it is to get onto this back half. But right now, all the players will begin their focus on reading these putts. Patrick Reed will try and judge what he thinks will be needed from that green side bunker as he is off the green to the right side. He'll be first to play.
Sean O'Hare, Patrick Reed, and Jordan Spieth. 3rd playoff hole here at the Valspar Championship. We're on the 17th green, and Patrick Reed is in the bunker. Got kind of a tricky little shot here, Raj.
Yeah, got a little bit of a side hill, little downhill side hill kind of lie, which it doesn't help. He doesn't have much green to work with, and when he lands the ball on the green's kind of working away from him a little bit as well.
was good.
Beautifully played.
Big, hard
shot.
swing, yeah. Kept the speed up to keep the ball, get the ball up in the air.
Tell you, this is like an up and down clinic here.
Yeah.
All these guys, it's amazing. Take a look at that. How hard he swung at that.
But that's what you need, Peter, is the speed. You got to have the speed of the club going through the sand to get it up in the air and get some spin on it.
Yeah, you're not only looking for spin, but you're looking for loft and height on that so it comes down as soft as possible. Remember the up and down that Reed made on the first regulation, or first playoff hole. Look at that. There's a thumbs up from Jordan. He recognizes a good shot when he sees it.
We saw a lot of that same clutch play at Glen Eagles. Witnessed it with him.
So now we got two long putts now from Sean O'Hare and Jordan Spieth. Note, I think Sean is next.
Yeah, you're correct, Peter. And this putt in regulation was about the same line, but half as close, and he left it well short, so he knows he's got to give it a little bit more than what he feels.
Well, 4 pars here in regulation for Sean O'Hare. And these par 3s, they're difficult. Playing these holes in even par, all the par 3s here, even par is pretty good, but he'd like to go 1 under right here. Well, short again. This one was not on line like it was in regulation. So now it sets the stage for Jordan Spieth. Gary, can he just
rush another one in? I wouldn't put it past him, Raj. He has made some unbelievable putts, especially on the back 9 today.
No doubt about that. This putt now will come across a little bit of a rise in the green. I think that's going to influence it to the left when it comes across there.
You know, Roger, this is my favorite time of day to play, but I also enjoy eating dinner at this time of day.
Well, we all have different kind of pastimes for this time of the evening.
Well said, Raj.
Take a look at the face. Patrick Reed and Sean O'Hare, they're thinking, all right, this kid's good. What's he going to do?
This knob that comes into the green out of that bunker should influence us pretty good from the right, shouldn't it, Peter?
Yes.
I mean, pretty good swing right to left.
Oh, yeah, I guess he is going to do it again.
On a day that we will not soon forget, that had everything that you could possibly ask for from 2 of these really young golfers, and then O'Hare in it. It is Jordan Spieth who emerges from a 3-man playoff with a birdie walk-off here. PGA Tour victory number 2. 28 feet for Jordan Spieth, who earlier, just to get into this playoff, had some of the finest runs of up and downs we've seen in a long time. So there is that second hard-fought PGA Tour win for Spieth. The 4th player in the last 75 years to win 2 PGA Tour titles before the age of 22. As we send it down to Steve Sands.
Dan, thank you. Congratulations, Jordan. Your second PGA Tour victory before the age of 22. You're a guy who embraces the pressure, but I don't think anybody understands the type of pressure you guys are under out here. How would you describe that?
It was crazy back 9, being 3 down with 6 to play, and you know, the snake pit, obviously it's not going to lend any birdies. So, man, that was the best Michael and I have ever done together. and just the scrambling coming in, those par saves coming in, and then, you know, I mean, that putt, that's just luck, right? I mean, that hits, if that doesn't hit the hole, I got a 4-foot slider, but, you know, I guess it was my day.
Michael, you were talking about your caddy, Michael Greller. You are a guy who also shows his emotions. Fist pumps, a lot of those, a lot of smiles. You were joking with me that your voice might crack during this interview. How do you keep your emotions intact when you're trying to get it done out here in this type of cauldron?
Well, it's tough. I mean, you want to feed off the energy of the crowd. You want to have it all be positive. You know, you can't have any kind of negative thoughts in your head. That's what gets me sometimes. That's what Michael was so good at today. Yeah, I mean, under this kind of pressure, you know, these fans were unbelievable from the get-go today. Owe a lot to them, and, you know, it's just an unbelievable team effort.
All three of you put on quite a show. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Steve.